is the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, September 5th, 2023, and we are here coming to you live. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Thank you, Gio. Thank you. A little dark, Gio. I'm just saying. Hi, everybody. Hi, Carmen.
Good morning.
I feel great today, but I am. What's that?
I was going to say, I think we should take one more day.
Right?
Oh.
It throws you off a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Tuesday. It should be Wednesday.
Yeah.
Let's go. All go back to bed.
I was really disappointed on Monday to realize it wasn't Sunday and just sit there looking for some sort of football or something. I'm like, I don't understand why Maury Povich is on all day.
Starts Thursday.
I know, though. I'm very excited. I don't know why. I mean, I remember the time I was excited because we had Tom Brady on our team. That was pretty cool. But I'm very excited this year for a team that is going to be probably not awesome.
I thought you were going to watch. You're going to give college football a try this weekend.
I did.
Awesome.
I watched LSU, FSU on Sunday. Why were they playing at Camping World Stadium?
It's like a neutral site, they say, even though it was in Florida.
But why do that?
2 hours.
Florida game.
It's all about money. Like these
Fit
teams,
more people in there.
the teams will decide to play each other, and they're like, "Oh, we'll do a neutral site," so they make more money.
All the LSU fans will come and bring their families to go to Disney World, and
Like last year, they played in the Superdome in Louisiana.
yeah.
And this year they played it there in Camping World Stadium. Which
As
is a
long
dome.
as there's a way for the players to make some money now, I think it's fair for everybody. If more money comes in and they divvy up that money, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I told my son. I said, if you want a Ferrari by the time you're 20, go do some illegal college football money. Warren Sapp said Uncle Luke used to roll up in there and just give an envelope of like $2,000 in there.
Sapp
I bet you Uncle Luke wish he had that money back now.
No kidding, right?
Sapp was at Miami in the 90s when there was some really.
Yeah, when they would, not for Sapp necessarily, but everybody had cocaine and cash.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
In general, that city had been a party back then.
I was talking to Martin Gramatica when he was in here last week about, he made good money and he was a kicker and he was did very well and stuff. But the guys now are making incredible amounts of money for a kicker. Like that Wu for the Falcons just signed for some crazy amount.
Young Wei Koo?
Yeah, which he's good.
Yeah.
But he's not like the best ever,
He's pretty good.
He is good.
Yeah.
He is good. But you never heard kickers getting that kind of money.
Well, they just every time they raise the floor a couple years, these guys get, even the quarterbacks now are getting, $200 million deals.
Yeah.
Martin, like they should pay those guys based on performance, and if that was the case, Martin would be so rich.
Young Wei Koo signed a 5-year, $24 million contract with the Atlanta Falcons, including a $6.25 million signing bonus, $11.5 million guaranteed, with an average annual salary of $4,850,000.
5 years, $25 million, and some bonus money, and some signing money, and some endorsement money.
Yeah.
He's fine. All he's got to do is run out there and not get killed a couple of times during the game. That's great. That is great. Good for him, and has a great name. Young Wei Koo.
I saw the Lightning met up with the Bucks and were doing some stuff. Stamkos was doing the catches, and I saw Hedman kicking field goals and stuff. And somebody, at me and it was like, "Oh, y'all want to check this out?" I'm like, "He's kicking off a tee, but whatever." That's cool.
Is it that easy to kick off a tee as opposed to somebody's tiny little finger holding it?
Yeah, it's a lot easier. A lot easier.
Yeah, I'm not. I got nothing. I'm not kicking any balls. I got old man knees.
I mean, put it to you this way. If you were kicking off of a tee, you'd be seeing, 80, 90-yard field goals. Because look at the kickoff. Whenever they do the kickoff, how far it goes. And then you go, well, why aren't they making field goals from 80 yards away?
Yeah. I still can't kick or do anything on Madden. If Madden is any indication on how the Bucks are going to be, we are in deep trouble.
Bad news.
I can't get more than 3 yards on a run. Again, I'm pretty good. And I played my son, and my son was, I think, the Saints, and he just crushed me the other night. So
I saw that I was reading an article. Vegas has Baker Mayfield at the highest odds to be the first quarterback benched this season.
Oh, really?
I don't know about that.
That's what
I
Vegas
don't-
says. They're
you
not
give
always right.
Bench them to pull in the backup. I don't think that's good. It was when you. Oh well, I don't want to say that, but it was like you bench Baker to put Baker in. You know what I mean?
Vegas not always right. When I go out there, those casinos are very small and not very impressive.
Yeah, they don't do well.
So I went to the store with my wife this weekend, Galvin. I was driving. My daughter needed something. My wife needed something. They wanted to go to Target. So I pulled in the Target on Gulf to Bay in Clearwater, or not Gulf to Bay, like on 60 right over there. And I dropped them off, and I said, I'm going to run over to Pelt Shoes across. I need to get some new sneakers.
Did you start practicing your whispers?
Yeah.
So I went in there, and let me tell you something about Pelt Shoes. Very helpful people.
Sure.
I said to them, I need help. And they were like, okay. And I said, I need a wide shoe that is not a New Balance that can do this. And they were like, we have two choices. And they showed me the ones. And then we found a nice big fat wide Under Armour. And I was like, oh, I'll take it. Thank you.
Is that when they start pelting you with shoes?
Yes.
You
That's
just
the
stand
whole,
in the corner, whichever one stick on your feet.
I thought
Right.
that was the thing.
Yeah. And but I got my shoes and I went up to the counter and I paid for it. And I said to the guy, thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate it. He's like, oh, no problem, man. And then I walked out.
Oh, you're the worst.
Wow.
I
You're
did
the
not-
worst.
Again?
I did not save $10.
What is your problem?
I could
What is
not
your
do
problem?
it. I could not do it. Imagine somebody recognized me, and I was like, and then he went,
the shame.
Calvin.
Yeah.
Calvin. I thought this guy had 13 refrigerators. Why is
Shame
he
on
saving
that
$10?
man.
Hey, you
So-
can say, listen, I'm making sure everything works. Everything's on the up and up here.
So then I get in the car. It was a rather quick experience at Pelt's because they were so helpful. And then I get in the car, and my wife and daughter had not texted me that they were coming out. And I see another store that I want to try called GameStop. So I rolled over in the GameStop, and I go, Calvin.
Yeah, it does not
No.
work there. Doesn't work there.
I really wish it did.
Oh,
I bought another PlayStation for the beach house.
Hell
and,
yeah.
And because I'm like, I'm gonna.
Don't
be
you have
there.
like 4 that are still wrapped and
No.
couldn't trade in your Blu-ray? And
I only have one in my office, and I wanted one. Joey has one, but I wanted one because I'm spending weekends in Clearwater.
Sure,
and
yeah.
My wife goes to bed like a senior citizen, and I'm up, and I don't want to just sit there and watch TV. And I'm like, I want to play games, so I went and bought the PlayStation, and I hid it in the car. I put it behind the seat. And I put my box of shoes on it, Juliana's bag around it, and I like hid it there. It was like a parent trying to hide Christmas gifts from the kids. And finally, Amanda texts me, we're coming out. So I roll up front of the Target. I pick them up. Amanda gets in the car and she goes, did you buy a PlayStation? It was like when Chunk smelled ice cream in the Goonies. I go, how did you know? You didn't even look in the back seat. She's just got special powers. She got in the car and she goes, did you buy another play? And I was like,
she probably has an alert on her phone
Yeah.
anytime you make a purchase.
I was like, no, I don't know where that came from, but let's keep it. Let's hurry up and drive away and set it up before somebody notices.
I thought what you were going to say whenever you pulled up to Target, all the spaces were taken up by Starbucks people.
Oh, no.
Because remember, they're going to be doing the delivery for Starbucks where you
Yeah.
can pull in there and
Oh, and they bring it out to your car?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I could use that. I like the Target Starbucks is good. If you go to a hotel and it's like, we have a Starbucks, and you go there and it's just some jabroni coffee shop that happens to have Starbucks flavored coffee and it's not the same. But Target's got real Starbucks. So I like that. I'm back on the Starbucks, but I haven't had one snacky poo. I haven't had one Rice Krispie bar or nothing. I've been
pretty good.
solid. I went through a whole weekend of not cheating. I ate 6 cheese pizza toppings the other day. There was nothing to eat in that room, and I was starving. And I'm like, I'll eat the cheese off these tiny little squares.
And what is that? What is the thought process there? The cheese is healthy, or
No. I'm eating.
I don't know. Just
I'm
you-
Italian. It just digests immediately through. Yeah.
let's just eat this greasy cheese.
I mean, yes, if you have a choice of eating the entire slice
No,
of
I'm
pizza,
doing a
or
low
you're
carb
just
diet, so I
eating,
can.
so you're keeping the bread out of it.
Yeah. So
Are you on the
that's easy to
keto
make.
like Bert?
No, I don't know what. Look, I'm just doing a low carb, like a under 30 carbs a day
Right.
diet, and I'm sticking to it really strict. So, and I'm eating a really high protein, so it's working out. But when I was in there, I walked into that room starving, and they had in the green room, they had a full refrigerator filled with Bud Light and Coke and Diet Coke and all the water and all that. I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then they had chips and dips and pretzels, and I was like, this is killing me. The other day I sucked the salt off a pretzel, and then they came in with like 20 pizzas, and I went, all right, I'm gonna grab a top of one of those, 2 of those, 3 of those. So they cut them in those little slices that were not even a real slice.
Yeah, they made them really small. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, but you can eat like 15 of them. You
Yeah,
don't feel like a
yeah.
fat
Slice,
ass.
yeah.
I don't know who
Wait,
did
no.
that, but I know you can.
No,
Yeah.
wait, Mike, was that plate that was to the side of like 5 pieces of pizza with no toppings on it? That was you?
I don't recall. I don't recall at all.
There was just a plate of bread.
Yeah.
Pile of crusts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
proof that I did not eat the bread. Thank you, Karen, for backing me up on that.
I was just wondering, I was like, what a-hole did this?
Did you think, who's the health freak?
No.
It was easy if you looked around the room. Spot it. Hey, by the way, I'm not talking to you.
Me?
Yeah, you're the worst Pokemon friend ever.
Why?
No raids. You didn't do any of my raids with me yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I was not on. No, I had to, because I had to.
Yeah, all the excuses.
No, I had to stop playing because my days weren't synchronized. So I had to skip a day.
No.
That
What?
time of the month?
You got to match your cycle.
What does that mean?
So,
Oh, boy.
like when you do a spinner and you catch a Pokemon, how it has that count?
No, I'm the highest level guy that doesn't know how to play the game.
Yeah, no.
I've learned
okay.
more from Chad in the last 30 days than I ever.
Right.
My brother's like, how did you get where you are?
Yeah, it's amazing. So if you haven't synchronized, if your spinner and your catch is on the same day, when you reach 7 and you do a field research also at 7, then
I'm following along. Go ahead.
then you get more bonuses. Your bonus is bigger.
Yeah.
When everything's
Yes.
synchronized.
Right.
Oh,
Did
will
I
you
sli-
do that, Calvin?
Yeah, bigger bonus with the spinner.
Yeah, confirmed.
I got to synchronize it all.
Yeah.
Carmen, did you see Mike's little cheater machine that he was showing Chad?
Yeah,
Not a
I
cheater
did.
machine.
That's a
It's
cheater.
an accessory. It's a Pokemon accessory. Whatever.
Cheater. That's how you got where you are.
No,
You're a
I just
cheater.
got that last week. Thank you to everybody who came out to the first Calta Comedy Circus, which this is how I judge. If everything goes the way it should go, and then the comments are 60-40 on social media, we did pretty good. Everything went above and beyond the way it was supposed to go, and the comments have been 99.9% good. Even the people who are like, I didn't like this comic, but I love the other two, or I love this one and I didn't like that one, are still like, but the whole thing was awesome. The best feeling is when people are like, thank you so much. We had the funniest night out. We had the best time together. Me and my girlfriend went. Me and my husband went. Everybody loved it. Everybody was happy except for one woman. And I won't say her name because she wasn't being mean, but her approach was not the best. I did a Facebook Live yesterday real quick, and I said, thank you to everybody. It seems like everybody had a great time, and it was awesome, and blah, 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 except one woman, and I'll talk about that tomorrow. And she's in live, and she goes, oh, my God, I hope you're not talking about me.
No.
So I'm not like mad at this woman. She didn't quite understand it, I don't think. She said, other than the fact that there was no merchandise table and the BS meet and greet, everything else was great. And I said, first of all, we don't like to do a merchandise table because we don't like to sell stuff to our listeners. It's bad enough we have to ask you to buy tickets to things. We don't want to then be like, here, now buy our T-shirts. It just seems to me like taking advantage. Maybe this would have been a good exception because it was a specialty show and we could have come up with a shirt for that. But basically, that's just to line our pockets. So we try to keep the cost low for everybody. And then the other thing is the meet and greet. The meet and greet had about 100 people in it. We lined up in front of a backdrop. They came in, met us, got in a picture, and left. That's
Some of
how.
us.
What's that?
Some
oh yeah,
of
the ones who were there. That's how every meet and greet I've ever gone to goes. You walk in, the band is over there. You stand next to them, they take a picture, and they're like, "All right, thanks for coming." You're like, "All right, cool, whatever." Oh my God, it's been Aerosmith. That's just how it goes. So this lady was. I said, "What did you want? Did you want us to dance with you?" And she said, I thought you would just like hang around and we'd all mingle for a little bit. And I said, I get it. Maybe after the show, that would have been a good idea. But, we were preparing to do a show in an hour from the time we did the meet and greet. So I think she understood. I think sometimes people have unrealistic expectations going in. And other than that, though, everybody else was very, I'm going to tell you right now, Jen from the Jenna Tortures was there, and Squirrel the Clown, and that I love that guy. I hate clowns and I hate creepy clowns, but I love Squirrel the Clown. They were just so much fun, those people, and they would have done anything. And I don't know that our crowd was expecting all of that. I wasn't. I told everybody, I said, I don't know what these people are going to do. I just know they're capable of doing weird psycho circus stuff, and let's see how it goes. And I watched the horror on some woman's face in the front row that made my night. And then they were great, though. They did a weird circus type show, and they were a lot of fun. And we all, between that and the comedy and Canhead and all that stuff, I thought it was a really fun event. And it's a great theater, that Capitol Theater. So now that makes it possible for us to do something else. With that one being a success and being sold out and everybody happy, now we can plan the next one.
I didn't know Squirrel the Clown, and he walked in before he was in his clown makeup.
Right.
And there's just some guy walking. He was like, yo, where's the beer?
That's right. Yeah.
And I go, over there, I guess. And then he comes in, grabs a slice of pizza and a beer, and he walks out. I said, I go, who the hell was that guy?
I love that you just let him go.
Well, here's the funny thing is he walked past, JoJo and I were standing out in the hallway, and he walked past us and went into the room, and she goes, who's that? And I go, I don't know, but let's see how this goes. But he did have the all access pass, so I was like, we'll see what happens.
I was like, whatever.
So my wife said, I don't know who came in with JoJo and brought her into the green room, but she was so sweet to me, and she was so nice and kept telling me how my skin was so beautiful. She's like, that was such a sweet girl. And I'm like, who was it? I don't know. Like, Christina's the only girl I know. And she's like, no, it wasn't Christina. And I go, I don't know. So I text JoJo and I go, hey, who was it that brought you into the green room on Friday? And she goes, oh, that was Joanna. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be in the green room. I go, I'm not yelling at you for being in the green room.
How dare you?
I mean, it's so funny how the people who could and should be there are the ones that feel like they shouldn't, and the ones who shouldn't feel like they belong there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mike Olivero is the best. I've been friends with Mike Olivero since 1996. And we have been coworkers and friends for most of those years. And I owe a great deal of survival in this business to Mike Olivero. And on Saturday night, he asked me if I would take a picture with some of Sophia's friends, and I did. And he has since apologized 5 times for it. And I'm like, Mike,
Why?
Yeah.
because he feels like he's impeding on me. And I'm like, Mike, I am happy to take a picture with anybody, let alone one of your friends. And then you go so far as to tell me they're big fans of the show. What possibly could you be apologizing for? And that's the best feeling ever in the whole world. So anyway, Saturday night, huge success. Thank you to everybody who came out. Thank you to, honestly, our staff, our promotion staff, from Dan and Mike and everybody, to really
Corey.
make it a big deal. Corey did it, to my knowledge, the first time he was like a stage manager, and he did a great job. It was the whole deal. Everybody was awesome. And of course, thank you to Bud Light and Shark Coast Tactical and the Todd Couple Superstore.
Yes.
Nailed it.
You got it?
For giving us, they gave us a bunch of dildo prize packages, which came in handy while we were there. And Joe,
Yes, Michael.
if there was an MVP award, I would give you the MVP award.
Really?
Oh, I thought you were just wonderful.
Before or after the intervention?
What intervention? I don't remember there being an intervention.
Most addicts don't.
Way to get drunk, Joe.
All right. Thank you.
Another way to put it.
I gotta tell you, I was very, very proud of myself yesterday, and you people just didn't give me any love at all. I made a nice Photoshop of Joe and Bruce Lee fighting each other and sending to you guys, and nobody even gave me the
Oh, I loved it.
complimentary ha-ha, on the thing. It's up on our Instagram if anybody else wants to go see it and ignore it at the Mike Calta Show. It's a picture of Joe. I don't know what my favorite is, Joe throwing the karate kicks on stage, or Joe singing into the microphone while Squirrel the Clown sang next to him into a dildo. I was dying looking at those pictures.
And all the keychains sold out too, Michael.
All the keychains,
Totally gone.
all the pins,
Yep.
out. $5 each,
That's
out
right.
the door, totally sold out. In fact, I gotta tell you, I don't think I have any pins. I wish I would have saved the Pep pin. But I have a keychain on my keys, and they are totally sold out. So we have begun our Pep pin program.
They were a hot ticket item, Michael.
Yeah, I bet they were.
They were.
I bet they were. Several
How
people.
much money did you collect?
I don't know. I
Or
just
was it
handed
in
him the
his
wad.
pocket?
No, Joe gave me a big wad.
Yeah.
He gave me a big wad of cash in which I put a rubber band around, and I still have it sitting in a drawer. I didn't even count it. I don't even know what's there.
I didn't count it either.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's all right.
You know, he skimmed right off the top.
No, I didn't. I didn't skim.
You know what? I was surprised there was a lot of singles in there. Like, who has singles?
Well,
Who has cash?
Yeah.
Well, I told that everyone is upset. Do you take Venmo? I'm like, no.
I let everybody
only.
know. I let everybody know. $5.
Yeah.
Bring a $5 bill with you. That
Cash
was
on
it.
the barrelhead.
Cash on the barrelhead.
$5 pap.
Yeah, it was good. It was good, Joe. I was very happy to see that all this stuff was sold out.
Great. I'm happy
So-
too, Michael. I had a fantastically awesome time.
It was good. It was good. And
Everybody knows you had a good
I
time.
know.
Whole city knows.
Gio was a real drag, huh?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Pap also, I thought, had the best line for 6 at 9.
Oh, you like my joke?
Hey,
I wrote that
anytime
joke
you can
myself,
work,
Michael.
anytime you can work a bukkake in, you got a good joke.
Son of a bitch.
I know. Why did somebody steal it? Did he steal it?
I wish.
I found it hard.
Wish.
Like I feel like he called Steve Miller and was like, "I need a
No.
joke."
So do I, but I did hear him practicing it the night before.
Yeah.
It made me upset. I was like, oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
All I heard was,
That's 'cause you don't pay attention.
I think my favorite part was whenever you were trying to talk to the one girl and Joe was saying, "I was my favorite is
You guys don't speak Joe. I hear everything perfectly.
Yeah.
I hear everything perfectly when Joe talks. I
Hiring
know
talk,
exactly
yeah.
what
I
you're
think
saying.
so.
Yeah.
All right.
It's been a long time. So,
Yeah.
okay. So, out of everybody, including me, Gio, Spanish, Galvin, Pap, Carmen, the performers, everybody, who had the worst breath that night?
Not it.
Was it me?
Was it you?
I don't know.
Does anybody else have an obvious answer besides me?
Did their breath smell like mozzarella cheese and pizza sauce?
Maybe. I don't know. I couldn't smell my own breath. Does anybody walk away going, that person had the worst breath ever?
oh God, I hope it's not me again.
Might be. You have a history. Spanish.
I mean, if
I had
it,
a one-off.
if it was Stinky the Clown, this is not going to be very shocking.
It's a member of this radio station.
right.
Of the show or the station?
All right, of the show. Narrow it down.
Well, according to your wife, Gio's is pretty bad.
Right.
I did an open letter to Spanish's breath because it was so bad it got its own open letter. Joe was imbibing quite a bit
Did it
and
smell
had
like
the
whiskey?
vape pen.
I've recognized the disgusting taste in my own mouth before.
Yeah. I try and keep it clean. I don't get a lot of complaints about that. Carmen.
Also, you're higher than everybody else.
Yeah, I'm blowing over top of it. Carmen.
I try not to get too close, just
Yeah.
in case.
Right.
Yeah.
Any
The person whose bad breath it was smelled like a raccoon died a month ago in the sun.
okay.
And then they were like, let me put this in my mouth for an hour.
No. Did gruesome.
Did you experience this yourself, or somebody told you?
Myself. So I'm out. Therefore, I'm out.
Did you walk away from this person and walk over to me and say, I can't stand this person's breath anymore?
Did that happen?
I don't know if
so
I said
I know that it's not me. So I know that it's not me. I had to get away. I can't stand it anymore.
Oh no!
Is what he said to me. So I know. So I know it's not me.
So I'm out and Galvin's
Why
out.
are you saying, "Oh no, Carmen"? Who do you think it is?
I don't know, but like you said, it's not Mike. It's not you.
It's down to Pap, Carmen,
man.
Spanish, and Gio.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I ever got close to you enough where that would have been a problem.
Yeah.
Like you were a safe distance away.
True, and Gio's out.
Oh.
So now it is between
No.
Spanish, Carmen, and Pap.
Gio is continuing to social distance. All right. So Pap, Spanish, or Carmen?
Did either one of you have did eat a rotted raccoon's carcass earlier that day?
Not that I remember.
Okay,
Did you
all right.
brush your teeth with a dog
I
turd?
might have.
No.
That would have helped.
Oh.
That would have helped. Joe,
Yes, Michael.
what did you eat that day?
Nothing. I was just drinking whiskey.
Oh, there it is.
So
Wow.
whiskey acid stomach?
I mean, maybe.
Whiskey and
Spanish?
vape
What did you eat
But I
that day?
talked to a lot
A
of people
taco?
out there. You know,
Yeah, but you know what? It's not like somebody's going to push you away and go get your breath away from me.
All right.
All right, Joe, what did you? I mean, Spanish. What did you
A
have?
taco? Two
Was
tacos?
it a dead raccoon taco?
I don't think so.
Okay, Carmen, what did you eat that day?
Chad and I split some Raising Cane's.
The chicken place
Yeah, the chicken tender.
I would
Okay.
too. It was good.
with the chickens dead for a month when you ate them.
I don't think so. It didn't smell bad.
All right. So it's down to you three.
I'm so bad.
And Carmen keeps going.
Well,
Joe-
if it's me, I would like someone to tell me because I carry gum in my purse, but I don't chew it all the time because we're on the microphone and stuff like that. But
Carmen,
like,
I don't think there would have been enough gum in the world to fix your breath.
Oh!
really?
Oh
Okay.
my God.
Oh, thank God.
At one point, Carmen said to me, I'm sorry, I'm smelly. And I went, I don't smell you. Like your body didn't smell. Like you were worried that you were like maybe your armpit stunk?
Yeah,
No, not at all.
it was just my breath.
Maybe your breath was shielding the smell of your armpits. Like couldn't
Why
get.
don't you tell me?
Oh my God! What am I gonna say? I thought maybe you'd see my eyebrows melting in front of your face.
Say-
Carmen, why
Hey,
would
got
he
some-
pull you aside and tell you personally instead of waiting until
Right. And
number
then
one
just
morning
tell
show
me.
on Tampa Bay?
Right. I mean, but I was talking to people. You don't be like,
Oh,
hey,
no.
man, do you got some gum or something?
Did you notice? Was this early in the evening or late in the evening? Did you notice?
It was right when we got on stage, and every time I had to talk to her, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it through this. And then Jen came in, and Jen's breath wasn't bad, but it smelled a lot like white wine. So I was getting wine from one thing and dead raccoon's guts from Carmen, and I thought I'm gonna throw up right here on the stage. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
What
Okay.
did you eat? I
Nothing.
forget
That's
Raising
when-
Cane's. Did you
Literally-
eat the Raising Cane's out of their garbage?
No, I literally, the last thing I did before I left the house was brush my teeth.
Oh man.
When you
Yeah.
leave your house, April?
No.
By the way, that's the next two ingredients on Iron Chef. Dead raccoon and white wine.
So Chad must be immune to it. Doesn't know.
Why do you think
That's why his eyebrows are
gone? Hey, 6 and 9, I'm out.
Oh my God.
Did anyone else realize this, or is this just Mike?
I definitely got a whiff.
Okay.
That was
Yeah. Well, listen, I need to go to the dentist because I might have like a cavity or something
No,
like that.
it's way worse than a cat. It's way worse.
Now you're just being mean.
No, I look. I'm being honest. I'm telling you now. Carmen, may I say this? You don't normally have bad breath.
It's a one-off.
Yeah, you're not a bad breath person. It was as if something had
Oh,
died.
maybe, were you a little nervous? Maybe you had some bubble guts. Maybe you had some stuff, making its way up.
I've smelled better diarrhea.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
No, Carmen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, I am exaggerating and teasing you. You did have awful breath, but it did
That part
taste
is
like.
true.
You know when somebody's eating healthy or they do something and they get that stinky breath. Just it's not like rotten mouth breath. It's like they have some sort of healthy gut going on or something. You know what I mean? Like if you drink just protein shakes after a week, your breath smells like a dragon's a-hole.
It was a healthy bad breath, is what he's saying.
That's not the case.
Like you didn't smell like garlic or anything like that.
Well, garlic is delicious. So.
Put it this way.
Disagree.
If you would have pulled me in the back room and went, today's the day, big boy, put one on me, I would have went, no way.
Oh my
No
God.
way. Yeah.
Well, thank you for telling me now. Oh my God, you're a jerk. You're the worst.
There
Yeah.
were a lot of like close conversations in the back
Yeah.
because everybody's kind of whispering and stuff. Yeah.
I could not even tell you that day because every time I got close enough to whisper in your ear, I thought I was going to die. So,
I literally have gum in my purse. You could have been like, hey, bro.
listen to me. Old school Big Red wouldn't have helped you out.
Oh.
That's not true. Oh my God.
Curiously strong
You're the
mints
wo-
would
you're
have
the
melted
worst.
in your presence.
You're the worst.
I know.
You
Not as
know.
bad as your breath, but I was pretty bad.
I know.
Anyway,
Why don't you tell somebody that though?
listen, I
That's
will.
just rude.
I will. Next time I can muster up enough energy after getting whiffed with your breath, I will come back and tell you, you need to slow it down.
That was a lot of suspense.
Dude, I'm going
what
to
the
the
breath?
dentist
You're
right
just
now.
happy for you, wasn't you?
Definitely, but there was like a couple minutes there where I think I started sweating.
Carmen, I wouldn't run to the dentist. I don't. Like I said, it didn't.
I'm going to the dentist. I'm leaving right now. I'm going.
When
Emergency
Spanish's
dentist.
breath smells, it smells like a dumpster that's been in the sun for a month. Yours didn't. Yours smelled like
A dead
Got a dead
A dead
raccoon.
We remember.
Yeah.
We remember.
Yeah,
a dead raccoon who ate onion.
a dead wreck.
Did you have onion rings at the chicken place or something?
No.
Chad's
We-
breath was nice. I talked to him.
We shared a 6-piece chicken tender and fries and the Raisin Cane sauce.
Maybe that
And-
was
It's a
it.
sauce.
But literally, that's what I had before, and I didn't eat anything at the event. I didn't eat any of your
You should have had
pizza
some cheese.
topping.
Yeah.
Do you think anybody else noticed, or just you and Galvin?
I mean, I brought it up because at one point I thought I was going to vomit. And I walked over to Galvin. I go, I got to stand over here. Carmen's breath is killing me.
Why don't you say something?
I did
Yeah.
to Galvin.
Yeah, you don't say something to the person?
I don't want to embarrass myself and make you feel bad.
Just let you ride it out for the night.
Right, and now everyone there just thinks I have stinky breath. Spanish, you didn't notice this?
No.
See, so I just think Mike
Sometimes-
is
But-
exaggerating.
no.
And mine could have been canceling yours out.
Exactly.
It was like a nexus of
Yeah.
terrible
I'm
raccoon
surprised
dumpster breath.
A vortex
Yeah.
didn't open and
Yeah.
some monster step out of it.
We gotta
like the
start-
breath monster from the future.
We're gonna start chanting next time we're together. You better be
Oh,
careful.
man.
No, we're not. I'm
Yeah.
not getting anywhere near you.
No, we
God.
have to.
I'm done talking.
We're
Yes, you need to wear a COVID mask to all our gigs now.
No, definitely not doing
Carmen's breath mask.
that. No.
We'll write on the mask, this is for my breath, not for COVID.
No. Oh my God! Why don't you say something?
What was I going
Rude.
to say? At one point, I almost said to you, Carmen, there's a field out back behind the Capitol Theater. Walk out there, find an animal turd, and chew on it for an hour, and then come back so your breath smells better.
Yeah, I am very resourceful. I would have found a toothbrush or some mouthwash. Like I said, I have gum in my purse. I just don't chew it because we're on the microphone. You could have been like, "Hey, go find some gum."
I don't know that that's the nicest thing to say. Hey, what's up?
It's
Goof,
better
go
than
pick
not
the gum.
saying anything.
Well, I thought I was nice. I got through
Or
the night.
offer her some gum. Please take some gum.
Yeah.
Please chew all of this pack
Anybody
right
like
now.
some gum?
You should have two.
Something.
You should take two.
Please.
Wow, whatever. I'm sorry.
Is there any way you could siphon some gas out of my car? For what? Nah, just siphon it.
With your mouth,
We'll see what
just suck it
happens.
out with a straw.
Just hung you out to
Swish
dry.
it, swish it
Oh,
around and
God.
spit it back in.
Galvin, you don't say anything?
Nope.
Oh my God. None of us are friends.
Yes.
what?
Yeah. No.
That is-
Galvin has
true.
told me before over the
Right.
years.
That's what
if
I'm
I've had
saying.
bad breath.
The fact that no one told me, none of you guys are my friends.
Dave McKay came up and pulled a hair out of my ear one time. He just walked out to me and grabbed my head
good
and pulled.
friends.
I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "You got a ear
Yeah.
hair."
Yeah, that's a good friend.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, you're not my friend.
I mean, not like that. I also,
Yeah,
Carmen,
no,
I face
no, it's
I face
fine.
strict laws these days about insulting people and.
That's not insulting. That's being a friend.
Are you now running back all the conversations you had
Oh,
with people over the
no.
night just to wonder if they knew that?
Dude, I'm traumatized.
So-
Honestly.
so
When you
was I.
run back the conversation in your head, do you see them blinking a lot and moving back like they're getting in a karate stance?
No, that's what I'm saying. Not
I-
one single person.
I was with an inch of my life. I was melting as she was talking.
Did the conversations end abruptly?
Oh my God, I gotta go to the dentist.
Yeah, I agree.
No.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, why do you think we keep you in that studio? Oh,
no.
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
leaving.
no, don't leave. Don't leave. You
No,
have the
I'm-
whole room to breathe in. When we come back, we have a whole boatload of new things to give away, including tickets to the 1975 that nobody wants. Carmen will tell you what the rest of the stuff is, and we'll play a little Sporkle.
Oh.
Next on 102.5 The Bone.
It's the Mike Calta.
Six, excuse me, 47 on the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. Coming up on the show today in the 9 o'clock hour, Ask the Dom will be here to take your legal calls. We'll have news at 7, and then there's an interesting guy coming on the show today at 8:30. His name is Ben Mallah. He's been on the show before. I've known him for a little bit. He is a big-time real estate guy, and he first came to us on this show when Hogan's Beach Club opened up on the beach, and at the time, Hulk and I weren't the best of friends, and we were taking shots at each other on Twitter and making parody songs and all that. And Ben reached out and he said, "What's going on? I'm trying to open this restaurant over here and make things work, and you guys are fighting with each other." And he said, "I'm going to put you two together," because both of you are like, "No, I don't really care. I don't really care." And then we went, we had lunch over there, and everything was fine. We high-fived and walked away. And it was all good. But Ben was a nice guy, and he's a real interesting character. Like, he also has a YouTube channel that has millions of followers. He made national news because he was trying to sell his entire fortune for like $1 billion at one point or something. He was like, "I have hotels. I'll sell it all and get out and retire right now for like $1 billion."
Didn't he buy like one of the most expensive houses? And
Yeah, that was the last time we had him on the
record?
show. He bought
Yeah.
one of the most expensive houses in Tampa Bay on record, and we called him up that day, and he came on the air and talked about it. But I recently ran into him at Frankie's Chop House on the grand opening night, and he was there, and he's always got like a camera guy with him because he's filming for his YouTube thing. So I want to talk to him today. He's going to come in the studio and hang out with us. I don't need him to come in here and start devaluing my house, though. Like, I don't want to walk up and be like, this is a bad investment, so tell me all the things I missed out on, you know?
this shanty compared to what he's got.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on.
He's going to walk through my garage to get here.
I saw one of the videos. He's got a lazy river that like went through the house.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
That's
I gotta
awesome.
tell you, that's pretty awesome. He's a nice guy though, and he's very funny, and he's got a huge personality. He reminds me a lot of the huge guy, the car guy.
Yeah, Facillo.
Billy Facillo.
Yeah.
Oh, huge.
Yeah. I know a lot of people hated that commercial, but it was what made it so popular was that guy doing those commercials. Do you know that guy? I don't even know if the people know how many times he would talk about me in those spots that would run on other radio stations, because he'd be like, "I don't know, this guy's on the radio. He's saying all these things about you disappearing." Because we used to say that girl was kidnapped.
Right.
Yeah.
Every time she wasn't on the commercial, we're like,
I
"Is she
used to
dead?"
love when he would do a 60-second spot, which would be, dinner was fantastic the other day. We had steaks, and I had a cigar afterwards. Well, like at 58 seconds, he goes, Facillo, could buy a car.
Yeah.
You know, like right at the end. You're like,
the car.
Nothing at all, whatever.
I think he had like 250 dealerships
Oh, yeah.
nationwide.
He
Yeah,
was
yeah,
started in
all over.
Buffalo, I think, or
Yeah.
upstate. So the thing is, though, is I have to tell you, and I'll be honest, the first time I started hearing those commercials, I was like, this is ridiculous. They're on all the time. They're the dumbest commercials. And then I realized, wait a second, it's working. In my head, it's working. And then I went to dinner with him one night, and he couldn't have been a nicer, sweeter guy. Big personality and stuff, but you could tell the difference between what he's doing for business and what he is like in real life. You don't really want the same guy to be both when it's that obnoxious on the radio. Yeah. And he was so nice to my wife. And then he did the cruise where if you bought a car from him, he'd put you on the cruise. And he was like, "Come on the cruise." He goes, "I'll get you and your wife a suite. We'll get massages, not together." But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, he was just a really nice guy. I
tough.
enjoyed hanging out with him. We went to Sacred Pepper, and they brought out the wine list, and he folded it and gave it back to him and said, "Give me the reserve list, like the list that nobody's seen." They were like, "Oh, yes, sir." He came back, and it was like, $2,000 bottles of wine. I was like, yeah, let's do this more often. So anyway, Ben Ballard will be here at 8:30 this morning. Now it's time for us to give some stuff away with a little bit of Sporkle. Here we go. Carmen, what do we have to give away today?
So we have tickets for Three Doors Down, Eric Church, the Outlaw Music Festival, and the 1975.
All right. Is this another bear in Florida? It's like the Bears are lost,
Yeah.
and they just keep showing up here.
That looks like a guy in a costume.
I
Yeah.
know. I know.
Maybe it's the one from China.
All right. Carmen is the keeper of Sporkle. Pap's your judge and scorekeeper. Carmen, what are we playing today?
All right. Well, I know you're excited for football to start.
Uh-oh.
So today we're going to play Big Four teams A through Z.
Oh, come
Can
on.
you name the missing word from the following Big Four teams? Okay.
Big
I don't even know what a Big
Yeah.
Four team
Yeah.
is.
Is that college?
No.
Okay.
It's just the Big Four. So basketball, baseball, just the Big Four
okay.
sports.
And what are we? I'm sorry. What are we doing?
The missing names A through Z.
All
I'll give you
right.
the letter. I'll give you part of the name. You're giving me the missing part of the name.
And
All right.
Galvin is going for 3 in a row today.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you for telling
Wanted
me.
to tell everyone.
Okay.
All right. So your first one, A.
Avalanche.
GM. B.
Bruins.
Come on.
Oh, man.
C.
Cardinals.
Cubs.
Vancouver.
Canucks.
Burn.
Galvin. D.
Diamondbacks.
Geo. E.
Eagles.
I got one.
Spanish. F. Atlanta.
Falcons.
Mike. G. Memphis.
Grizzlies.
Geo. H. Carolina.
Hurricanes.
Mike. J. Utah.
Jazz.
Spanish. K.
Knicks.
Ah.
Los Angeles.
Kings.
Galvin. And Pap. We're halfway there.
Galvin and Spanish and Michael are all on the board. They all have 2 points each. Gio has doubled that score. He is in the lead with 4.
What is this? Where are we at? What letter are we up to?
We are on L. You guys are giving me the big 4 teams, A through Z. Next
Lakers.
One, L. Detroit.
Lions.
Pap.
Spanish?
Oh.
Spanish gets a point. M.
Mariners. Damn it.
Dallas.
Mavericks.
Geo. N.
Whoa.
Washington.
Nationals.
Galvin. O. Baltimore.
Orioles.
Mike. P.
Pistons.
New Orleans.
Pelicans.
Calvin.
Galvin.
You got it.
Yep, that's right. R.
Rockets.
Reds.
Tampa Bay.
Braves.
I can't believe it took.
Oh, man.
Spanish. S. Seattle.
Seahawks.
Galvin. And Pap. We're in the last 3.
Oh.
Michael has 3. Spanish has 4. And Galvin and Gio are tied. They both have 5.
How can I have?
I had 6.
Yeah, and I had 2 coming out of it, and I answered 2.
No, that is not correct.
It is though.
I have down. No, you're right. That's 5.
Oh,
All right.
Apologize.
Okay.
All right, last 3. Here we go. Big 4 teams, A through Z. The next letter, T.
Timberwolves.
Titans.
Oklahoma City.
Thunder.
Mike.
Thunder.
V. Minnesota.
Vikings.
Pap.
Galvin.
Galvin gets a point. And this is the last one.
Where are we at?
Galvin has 6. Gio has 5. Spanish and Mike both have 4.
How did you lose? It was winning. Jesus.
Here we go. Let's.
Last one. W.
Wizards.
Golden State.
Warriors.
Warriors is correct. Pap.
Gio.
Gio gets the point.
So we tied now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Here I come.
And then
Anyone's game.
Nope. Mike and Spanish are out. This is the extra point between Galvin and Gio. Why?
Yankees.
Oof. The worst.
That was fun.
Who's the worst?
Dude, this guy. He didn't even try.
I love when people suck.
He had
They
the
call everybody
lead.
else the
He had the
worst.
lead the whole time.
It was neck and neck the whole time. What
She
are you talking
did
about?
the quiz for you.
No, that's not true.
Sports? Oh,
No, I did a comeback. I only had 2.
And I
When you had 4.
was an exciting game.
4.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know whether it's necessarily your fault.
Yeah, exactly.
Why? Gio, you didn't even answer.
I love when losers say I suck.
I mean, I'd refer to me as not a winner.
Final score, Joe?
Your final score, Michael and Spanish both had 4. Gio had 6. And Galvin is your triumphant champion. He squeaks the win out with 7.
All right, there you go.
I mean, I was early in, then everybody just copied what I was doing.
Yeah. What line are you playing for, Galvin?
Line 4.
Line 4. Hold on. I'll grab line 4 really quick. Yada-da-dee-da-da-da-doo.
congratulations.
Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning. This is Kent.
Hi, Ken. Hold on, please. Galvin, one for you. Carmen will get you and give you tickets to whatever we have there.
Very nice.
All right.
Well, that is 3 in a row.
Calvin's winner, 3 in a row.
Kind of glad that you won because my thing would have been really outdated
Yeah.
at this point. So
Do you remember
I'll
what
let
it
you
was?
go. Yeah, it was the hurricane
Yeah.
recording.
I would like for you guys all to tell Joe how great he is at doing video.
I'll
That's
go
very
first.
nice. Thank you, Galvin. That's a generous offer.
Joe,
Sarcastically. You didn't let me finish. Sarcastically.
Joe,
Yes, Mike.
I believe your video goes above and beyond and would rival anything that Joe Rogan's people are doing. And in fact, I wish there was an award such as an Emmy or an Oscar we can give you. Congratulations and thank you, Joe.
We already got it. It's at the back of the station.
Innovator.
Oh, that's right.
My
Thank
turn?
you, Michael. I appreciate that.
Joe,
Yes.
every day when I pull up social media and I see your videos, I think, man, these are impressive.
You see
These-
videos on social media?
Oh, well, I'm
Sarcastic.
I'm
doing a thing.
Oh, okay.
I pull up social media, I think, wow, these are impressive. This is definitely taking this radio show to the next level. I mean, we are just crushing the competition with our video work. And I think, man, that is all because of you.
I could not agree more. Thank you, Gio.
Congratulations.
I appreciate you very much, sir. Thank you for saying so.
The
And-
grind is impressive.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Wow. Just, what words do I have to talk about how amazing you are at video? Every video you touch and edit becomes a viral hit, just one after the next. There is no stopping your video train once it has left the station. Ladies and gentlemen, video innovator of the world, Joseph.
Thank you.
Very nice.
I love you guys. Thank you for saying so.
You're welcome.
Very
We love
kind
you.
and generous.
Galvin, what do we have coming up in news?
Coming up in news today, are you really helping? Stick to the other stuff and Telephone Tuesday.
Oh.
I hope Galvin wins every day.
Spanish, what were you telling me off the air about my son and Pap?
Oh man, when we're off stage, and Joe is definitely in the cups, as he likes to say at this point.
And the cups.
Yeah, he's in the
Oh, yeah.
cups, and Jenna and the
Wait, can I ask a question though? I didn't see Joe drink anything.
Oh, that's
No.
because
No, I'm
You
saying
weren't paying attention.
right. Like I didn't see him. What was he drinking?
Well, but people were
Everything.
buying me shots of whiskey. I was
Oh,
drinking
okay,
whiskey.
because I didn't see any hard alcohol anywhere.
So I think what happened is when he was at the pop-up, I think people were buying him shots because then the next time I saw him, he was like right on the cusp of in the cups, and then shortly after was
Tuned up
Pirate
at the
Joe.
pop-up.
Yeah,
Did
I have a
you guys drink before you got to the event?
we did do one shot before we left the house.
Yeah.
That is true.
That was the
But-
first shot of the day?
Yes,
you guys
first shot of the day.
Ubered,
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but then after that, next time I saw Joe, he was definitely drunk. Then the intervention happened. Then Jen and the band was all doing their thing with all the stunts, and Joe is backstage, and we could hear you called for Pap. So I was like, Joe, come on, we got to go out there. And Joe's like, no, I don't want to go out there. And then luckily your son was there to step in and put his arm around Joe and say, come on, buddy, we just got to get you out there, all right? We got to get you out there. Everything's gonna be fine. And Joe said,
He
no.
didn't just yoke him up and throw him out on stage.
No, we had to grab him because he did try to run away at one point.
Why were you running away?
I don't recall
He-
this at all, Michael.
He
I-
said numerous times, they're gonna hurt me out there. No, they're gonna,
I think,
they're gonna hurt me out
I was
there."
afraid I was going to get tased again.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It was
No
your-
tasers. There
Your
were no
son
tasers.
had to say, "Come on, buddy, everything's gonna be fine. It's safe out there."
Is this when the squirrel took the
Yes,
tube through his nose and then Joe sucked the shot from it?
No.
that is
Yes,
time.
no, that's exactly
That is
what it
time,
was.
yeah.
I was surprised that not only did was Joe able to take the shot from the guy's nose, but so did several of our listeners. I couldn't believe people were volunteering to come and drink the shot through this gentleman's nose.
I believe they turned people away.
Yeah. It was good though. It was good.
Yeah.
All right, cool, Joe. Well, thank you for sacrificing
Yeah.
for the
Pleasure.
sake of
Way
the
to
show.
go, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Real hero.
He tried to run away off the stage, but also your son and I were there to hockey goal him, push him back out. So
Good.
it was good. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Galvin is news. We're going to take a quick break, come back, and we'll dive right into that next. It's the Mike Calta Show. This is 102.5 The Bone.
You're listening to the Mike Calta Show on 102.5 The Bone.
Welcome.
$7:15 on the Mike Calta Show. I don't even know what we have next. I know we got Calta Cruise brought to you by Stingray Chevrolet. That's going to be happening in April.
And we announced on at the Calta Comedy Circus.
Yep. We let those guys in on it first. I put it up on social media over the weekend. So far, we have one comedian joining us on the cruise. That may change. It may multiply. There may be other guests. But I will tell you that our friend Steve Byrne will be featured on the Calta Cruise this year.
Yes.
I am trying to push for Gary Cannon to come on the cruise, too.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Nice.
Gary's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go old
So,
school.
yeah.
And really, how is he going to live if Steve's gone for 3 days?
Exactly.
You know.
And I actually asked Steve, I said, who's somebody that you're friends with that you'd like to spend time with for a couple of days on the cruise? And he said Cannon would be great. And I said 100%. So not to be confused with Mike Cannon, who was here this weekend.
Right.
Gary Cannon's an old friend of ours that used to open for Mitch Fatel and Ralphie May, and he's real fun to be on the cruise.
I was watching Steve Byrne, I think, has another new special out where he's doing like crowd work stuff, whatever, but he has Gary up there on stage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as like his sidekick announcer guy,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Gary's a good sidekick. I'd like to see Gary fight Joe in the Punch-Out.
Oh.
By the way, before we get to everything, Friday, we have a great show planned for Friday. Punch-Out's been a staple of this show for years.
Mm-hmm.
And the new company that owns us said, look, there's too much liability there. We don't want our employees to fight each other and get hurt. We don't want this. We don't want that. And it just became easier for us to not do it. And that stinks. And I keep trying to find end arounds and workarounds to do it. And just it hasn't been able to happen. Well, we got a Punch-Out happening here. It's not ours, but it's pretty goddamn good. A guy who once offered to fight me with one arm tied behind his back will be fighting here. Jason Ellis, who is a radio host for Sirius, he's been on the show before. He does an event every year called Ellis Mania, where they do all sorts of crazy stuff and they beat each other up and all that. And he is going to be fighting Luis J. Gomez, who is another comedian who's been on the show, who I've had fights with over the years, although for the last couple of years we've been very cool with each other and talk on the
That
phone and
fight
stuff.
has not happened yet?
So that fight was supposed to happen at Skankfest like 3 years ago, and it didn't happen. And then it built up, and the Skankfest is a big comedy festival, and I'm talking about huge. I'm talking about every famous comedian, from the Bill Burrs to the Bob Saget's to all of our guys, Robert Kelly, Mike
Louis
Cannon's
C.K.,
Louis C.K.
David Tell, yeah.
It's the biggest comedy festival among comedians, and it's happening this year in Las Vegas. Well, Lewis called me the other day, and he said, we decided that we can't do the fight at Skankfest. And I said, why? And he said, because the Las Vegas Boxing Commission is too hard to work with.
Yeah.
We used the Boxing Commission here when we worked here, and it was the reason why we couldn't have, we weren't supposed to have, transgender fights and that sort of stuff. So anyway, they've moved.
It was why Avocado couldn't even get in the ring to play guitar because he was going to have a heart attack.
So the Skankfest guys have moved the fight to St. Petersburg, and that fight is happening in November.
Really?
And it is, I believe, going to be at the factory in downtown St. Pete, and Lewis and Jason are going to be in the studio with us on Friday. Now, they're friends and they get along, but they've been wanting to fight each other. Lewis trains and has trained in MMA for years.
Yeah, which I think he had just started training whenever they started talking about this fight and doing this. I got to tell you, if there is any indication on his athleticism from the video of Shane Gillis and Matt playing against Big J and Luis Gomez in basketball, good luck.
Yeah, but
I know that doesn't necessarily translate
for basketball.
I know that doesn't necessarily translate, but woof! I think they lost 15-0.
Yeah,
it was terrible.
So Lewis will be here, and then Jason's here. Now Jason, I'll never forget the first time I heard him. My brother-in-law came in and said, "Have you ever heard this Jason Ellis guy?" I said, "No," and he goes, "He's on satellite radio on this channel, whatever." And I happened to go out the next night at that time to go get a pizza, and I put it on. and the guy was great. I think he's Australian.
Yes.
And but he's been here for a long time, and he
came up as a skater.
Yeah, he was a skater, but he does this thing. And he was talking about if fish had sex, or sometimes animals just lay eggs, and another animal will take the eggs and hold them until the eggs hatch. And he was asking if fish is F. And the way he was saying it was making me laugh. I'm like, this guy's hilarious. Then years later, I think they put Ellis Mania on TV, and I think it's why we talked to him on the show, and I really like him. Then the guy, he's married and has a kid, and then he came out as being molested as a child. He had a repressed memory of being molested, I think, by his father. Then he came out later on. He's very manly. He's got tattoos on his head. He's really in good shape. Came on later on as being bisexual because he was married, but he still liked to have sex with guys too, I guess. I don't really know the full story, but I remember he came out as bisexual, and people turned their back on him. Like, a lot of the MMA guys wouldn't talk to him anymore, and a lot of the skater guys wouldn't talk to him anymore, and he was like, good, I'm not apologizing for who I am, and I love that. Then I think now, as time goes on, he's done therapy and stuff and realized he's not bisexual, he's just gay, and he's married, or he was married. I don't know if he's still married, but he and his wife have a great relationship raising their child. So I'm interested to talk to him about that. I really am. He'll be here on Friday. Also, along the lines of Carl Nassib, who plays for, does he still play for the Bucks? Is he still playing?
I don't think so, no.
I love Carl Nassib because he was the first person to come out as gay in the NFL, and there were so many closeted players who didn't have the balls to do it, and Carl Nassib did. And I think part of the reason it makes it easier for him is because he will kill you if you want to get in his face. Jason Ellis will kill you if you want to get in his face. So I think those guys are very brave. Carl Nassib's like, yeah, I'm gay, and I have a boyfriend, and he's coming to all my events, and I don't care what any of you say about it. And nobody cared. Nobody cared. I mean, I don't know what it's like in the locker room, but nobody cared. And that should have been inspiration for other athletes who are hiding it to come out and say, hey, I guess it's not that big of a deal,
Now, Jason Ellis is not tying one hand behind his back to fight Luis Gomez.
I listen, I've met Ellis, and I just saw him out at Bert's premiere, and there is no doubt in my mind if Jason Ellis was just an average human being, I would kill him. Now, cut to me knowing the truth, I don't know that I would ever want to fight Jason Ellis. Maybe with one arm tied behind his back. I don't know that I'm that worried about a one-armed guy. Two-armed guys I don't want to fight.
The internet says he used to train with Team Quest under the direction of Dan Henderson.
Yeah. I mean, look,
Dan Henderson's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's a tough guy.
Yeah.
But
he's got 2 pro fights still under his belt.
Yeah. MMA or boxing, one hand tied behind his back?
What's the difference? I mean, I think it would be harder for him to try and...
What's the difference? Kicking you. That's the difference.
He's got 2 pro fights.
It's hard to balance a one-legged kick with one arm tied behind your back.
But you could do it, for sure.
Look, I'm just saying I think that I have a huge advantage being my size and weight over him if he has one arm. I mean, if he feels up to it, maybe we'll tie his arm up in the studio.
We'll see what happens.
Also, when he gets there, I'm going to be like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. We got news to get to, but before we get to news, people ask me all the time what happened to Crazy Patty, and I don't know. I don't know. I think Tongueless Bread's dead. I think that's pretty sure about that. I would like to know if Tongueless Bread died like in an accident, or if he just died of natural causes, or what the deal was. Nobody could ever give me any information. Crazy Patty, I think her family stops her from calling and all that. Magnifico somewhere in a home, and Medicine Man is no longer allowed to be associated with the show, not through any fault of his, but because some local guy keeps trying to write articles about me and make me the villain for putting Medicine Man on the air. Doesn't ever want to acknowledge all the good things we've done from over the years, but all of a sudden I'm bad because we put him on and have fun with him, Anyway, Medicine Man still is calling my voicemail 3-4 times a day, every day, and I don't think he understands the severity of the situation. He would not be allowed in our event, not because we don't like him, but because that guy George ruined it for everything. So he left me this voicemail the other day.
Hey there, Mike. It's your man, Myth and Legend Medicine Man. I'm sick of the f***ing dog, and I couldn't make out the cat last night. And you guys could probably let me in and join you guys or something like that. I was sick from eating that goddamn mother Crapplebee's. I changed the name Applebee's to Crapplebee's
Very
because
clever.
food and sucks and their service sucks.
Wow.
It's not the first time I ever got poisoning from there. I almost got poisoning from the one by Seminole Mall, the 18th of August, before seeing a live streaming of Metallica movie. But this one, Friday night, really took the cake. I mean, I had to bite a bullet with stomach cramps the whole time. I had to try to enjoy a concert at Ruth Eggett Hall Friday, the R.C. Floyd concert. And all day yesterday, I had the shit from eating at Crapplebee's. I mean, just boycott the place. It sucks. I mean, I don't feel that hot today either from eating there. So that's what I say.
Thank you.
Crapplebee's. It sucks. You never hear me curse that much because I had a miserable day yesterday. I could have been enjoying you guys if it wasn't for that establishment you see advertised on TV.
What is it?
I mean, it looks
TV.
great on TV when you got it.
Taiwan.
You're playing Russian roulette eating those places like Crapplebee's anyway. Oh, man, I thought I had to get my stomach pumped out.
All right. Thank you, Menace Man. Crapplebee's.
Yeah.
I enjoy Applebee's. I love the riblets. I love their appetizers.
I had quite difficulty with the establishment.
Yeah. Le Monde.
And then Taiwan.
Yeah, and
Why
he
does he
said-
become English when he says TV?
He can't say Russian roulette. I think he said mushroom roulette.
He didn't say mushroom
Right?
roulette.
Ooh, I'd love a little
Yeah.
mushroom
That
roulette.
sounds great.
You eat them and they're either delicious or you get high.
Yeah.
You don't know. Oh, speaking of, I went out to dinner one night this week, and we went to Fleming's,
Uh-huh.
and I love the Fleming's. Fleming's, I say this all the time. Fleming's was the best. Then it took a little hit, and then Jorge Diaz got in there and made that place in tip-top shape. And from what I understand, they're expanding and opening that whole area up over there. But anyway, I've been there a lot in the past month, and we went there again this week. And I was talking about Frankie from Cafe Chibo had a special going that was beef Wellington. And I said, Fleming's used to make beef Flemington, which is a beef Wellington, and it was the absolute best. And they stopped making it, and it was so good, you know. So I was eating dinner, and Jorge comes out with a beef Flemington for me. He's like, I heard you talking about it, and I heard that I asked the chef, and we had the thing, so we made it up for you. And I went, Jorge, I'm on a goddamn diet. I can't eat it. I said, but really, the person who loves it the most is my wife. And he was like, all right, take it home to whatever. She got up out of a sleep and came and ate it in the kitchen. She ate half of it that night. She was like, it was fantastic. Yeah. They really, their food there, if you're looking for a steak, that is the spot to go to, man. It is just, they make the best ribeyes there. They make the best fillets. It's a great steakhouse. We're very fortunate. We have a whole restaurant row area that's got nothing but great restaurants right in it, and you can mix it up. You can go to Ocean Prime one week, Eddie V's another, Fleming's, and never get sick of the same place. But people ask me all the time, and I think any of those ones over there are fantastic.
Send Medicine Man.
I don't
Crapplebee's.
I don't need him complaining that he got gas eating at Fleming's. All right, ladies and gentlemen, time to check in with Galvin. He has today's news.
And now, news with Galvin on the Mike Calta Show.
What do we have in news today, Galvin?
Today's news is brought to you by Pelt Shoes, and I'm gonna go on the record. If you're not going into Pelt Shoes and whispering my name Galvin, you're an idiot.
Wait a second.
What? Oh, listen, you're gonna save money. I'm trying to save you money.
I know.
That's one of the most important things. The economy, all the different stuff. You want to save some money. Whenever you stop into Pelt Shoes and you're buying some shoes, whisper my name Galvin. Galvin. You're gonna get 10% off your first purchase. So do it. Don't wuss out whenever you get up to the counter and go, they're going to know who I am.
Who does that?
Yeah. But as Mike can attest, they have the Pelts shoe experts in there that are going to make sure you're getting the proper fitting shoes. They're going to take the scan of your foot, they'll email it to you. They have the 3D foot scanner in there, and then they have it on file so they know exactly what kind of shoe you need, and they're going to make sure you get the proper fitting shoes so you're not having any foot pain or back pain or anything like that. That could be because you're wearing the wrong size or style of shoe. They also have dress shoes. They have dress shoes. They have boots. They have women's shoes. They have kids' shoes. So whatever you're looking for, they have all the different brands and styles. And make sure whenever you stop in one of the 6 locations throughout Pinellas, Sarasota, and Fort Myers, you whisper my name, Galvin. Just like that. So easy. See how you can do it here? It's easy.
I also almost had to go back and get flip-flops for Joey.
Yeah.
Because I had to take him to urgent care on Sunday.
What happened?
He got up from a chair and tripped and dragged his toe across the concrete and ripped the nail off his big toe. Dude, I didn't get to see it beforehand, but he called me and he was like, I got it's bleeding. And so I picked him up and I took him to urgent care, and they came out and they were like, we don't do that. They were like, there's a certain tool that you need to cut the nail off, and we don't have it. But they gave us like a kit to clean it and do all that. And so my wife went into nurse mode and she cleaned it and wrapped it up, and he's in a little bandage with crutches now.
Quick question for you. Would you rather drag your toe and have the toenail ripped off, or talk to Carmen with her breath for 5 minutes?
I'd take all my toenails.
Oh, my God.
It was awful.
Wow. Fires.
That is something else.
I ripped my toenail off, and I don't quite remember it. Carmen's breath will stay with me for life.
Rip your skin off your face.
Sorry, Carmen.
How do you not say something?
Because every time I tried to, I was met with the force of your breath.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un may travel to Russia to meet President Vladimir Putin for discussions on a potential deal to supply Moscow with weapons for its war on Ukraine. That's according to the U.S. government. The National Security Council warned Monday that arms negotiations between Russia and North Korea are, quote, actively advancing after Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu visited Pyongyang in July in an attempt to convince it to sell artillery ammunition to Moscow.
That would be something. But I think we already know that if there was going to be a problem and sides were going to be made, that they're going to not be on our side anyway.
Yeah, China and Russia together is not a good team for us.
No, yeah, I mean they're we know they're sided up, but if they mix Korea in the deal with Kim Jong-un, then.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Korea. I meant
I mean but I mean, do we want to supply them with weapons that took rockets that took off and crashed in the water 5-6 times already?
Well, what's scary is that it may be those types of weapons, but also remember that the biggest cyber attack in history was pulled off by North Korea. So they are a formidable force when it comes to that kind of stuff.
And didn't Putin just do something to arm Satan 2, the missile that they have? Yeah. Satan 2? What happened to Satan 1?
I want to know, one thing we never hear about is our cyber attacks. Like what have we shut down before? What have we done? I saw this amazing video this weekend that showed a small strip of land. Did you see that on the water? And it showed like laser attacks, but it showed the small strip of land, didn't know where it was, and all of a sudden a laser hit it, and then it popped up all around, and the whole thing was uprooted out of the water. It was amazing. And I thought, well, we're all dead.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just how we're all dead, no matter who has it.
We didn't do anything with the pipeline. So.
No, yeah, definitely. That wasn't us.
We're
no
fine.
worries, yeah.
Anybody see anything interesting in the sky over Tampa Bay this weekend?
In the sky over Tampa Bay, I did not look up one time.
I saw a few different videos, including Ronnie D's son, who pulled over to the side of the road and got some video. Here is some video that I found on Twitter where people are like, what is this? What is going on? Are we being attacked? What is in the sky? What is happening? What is that thing with the long trail behind it? Well, I did a little research.
Is it a comet or falling star?
NASA's SpaceX Crew 6 mission to the International Space Station ended after a successful splashdown off Jacksonville, Florida in the early hours of Monday, September 4th. So apparently that's what it was.
That's
I guess.
cool.
Yeah, but a lot of people were like, what in the world?
It's happening.
Because it was booking. This guy who did this video said, he goes, it went from one side all the way to the other in a matter of just seconds. And he goes, and it's hard for me even to video it because it's gone so far and it's so far away. But yeah, that looks pretty crazy.
That's what it looked like when we get hit by the next asteroid.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I always think it's funny that people forget in Florida, like the space.
Yeah, exactly.
Kennedy Space Center is like 100 miles from here, and like
Right.
they don't think right away. Oh, it must have something to do with SpaceX.
No big
or
deal.
what-
Well, that's why I would always talk about Gulf Breeze, Florida, which is right next to England Air Force
Yeah.
Base, which is the largest Air Force base in the free world. And people would be like, aliens, aircraft. Maybe it has something to do with the giant Air Force base there.
Yeah, but with these days, we're seeing more and more, and we don't really know. And who's to say those things aren't landing at our Air Force base?
Yeah.
100% could be, but also you have to know it has something to do with the giant Air Force base.
Yeah.
And nobody has a device in their pocket they can do like Google it in like 2
Yeah.
seconds. Where like on Twitter and everything is like SpaceX today is like the number 1 news thing. We're like, oh my god, we're dying.
That happened to me coming here one morning. I forget when, but we parked and I looked up and there were like those rings, those like light rings in the
Yeah.
sky, and I was like, that's an alien. Like we're being abducted. And I came in and told you guys, and I think it was either you or Galvin was like, no, that was the SpaceX. They launched
That
today. That's
SpaceX
what you
thing
saw.
is pretty interesting
Yeah.
when you don't know what it is. I remember when Joey played Little League years and years ago, and he had a night game. It was the same time that the space station was over, and we all were able to hold our phones up and map the sky, and then there it was, and we
So
just watched it.
cool.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
it wasn't really that cool.
You know,
it just
I
looks
love
like
that
a
stuff.
slow-moving shooting star, and you're
Yeah.
like, yeah.
But we put that into space.
I know.
Like we did that. That's pretty cool.
I know
We did?
the whole
Well,
thing is cool, but watching it
species.
is not that cool. Like the idea of it's great, but
Yeah, I remember when Elon Musk put the Corvette in space, and you could watch
That was
it.
pretty
That was
funny.
pretty cool.
My buddy lives over in Melbourne, and every time one of the his windows shake at his
Yeah.
I want to
house.
go.
let me ask you: was it a Tesla or a Corvette that he put in space?
Sorry, a convertible is what I meant to say, not a
I
Corvette.
was like, why would he
Convertible.
put a Corvette?
Yeah, you're right.
So Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Oprah Winfrey face a lot of backlash for asking fans to donate to Maui Fund instead of contributing more themselves. Viewers hit back and asked why the celebrity duo couldn't just donate more of their own money instead of people with less money. Oprah's net worth is listed at $2.5 billion. Johnson is said to be worth at least $800 million. So the interesting thing about this is they've committed $10 million. They haven't donated $10 million. They have committed.
Well, you know what though? Where do you put it right now?
No, well, here's the thing: is they've committed to raise $10 million from
raise it.
Yes,
Yeah.
from our donations.
Yeah.
So they're not each giving even $5 million each. They're just setting up this fund to do it.
So I heard, I know what you're saying, but I also heard that Oprah had said that she was donating $10 million and he was donating $5 million of their own money. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I
I
haven't
could
heard
have
that.
I could have read it thinking that, and it turned out that it was.
I think you just saw the story
committed.
where they're buying property on that land. That's the money they're spending on the new
It's a
property.
bidding war.
Yeah.
I don't. The Rock has Samoan family and people who definitely lived in Hawaii. He lived in Hawaii. Oprah just bought a house there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I
No,
don't know.
she bought 2,000 acres.
Yeah.
Well, what
Yeah.
I'm saying, like she did, I'm like, she's not to me the Hawaiian spokesman. I feel more bad for somebody who's like, my papa died in whatever, and they need money or something. I don't know.
What do we feel would be the acceptable amount if like Oprah or The Rock donated? You'd be like, oh, okay, that's pretty damn good.
Listen, I don't think they have to donate anything.
Yeah.
I don't think they have to donate anything. Don't go under the guise of look what we're doing
Yeah.
when you're not really doing that. You're asking people for their money and you're pretending like you're putting your money in, but what you're doing is committing to raising $10 million
Right.
instead of saying we'll kick it off by each putting in $5 million or whatever. They don't have to give a dime.
Yeah.
And listen, Oprah bought 2,000 acres and said, okay, was it for sale? Was it all legal? Yeah, okay, then fine.
Right.
I think
Interesting circumstances, but yes, it was all legal.
I
Right.
feel like Oprah's the one that set the fires.
So I
That's
think
my own personal opinion.
Her and the elite, yeah.
Yeah, the only reason Oprah's doing this is because she was on camera trying to donate to people in the shelters, and that had a huge backlash as well.
But did
So I'm
she have
sure
a camera
PR
crew with her
people-
too? They
Yeah, she had the camera
Yeah.
crew with her.
Yeah, it was
and
bad.
Meanwhile, all these people that are, out there and can't afford anything and their house got burned down and stuff, they're like, all right, we'll get over here. We'll wrangle you up over here. And
Yeah.
then, what did you say? The media, aren't they staying in not the media, FEMA.
Oh yeah. FEMA, they're all being put up in $1,000 a night rooms at hotels,
Isn't that
and
nice?
then the people that lost everything in the fires were only given $700 each. So it's kind of ass backwards in my opinion, a lot of people's opinions.
You
but-
have to think people of Hawaii are like, but Ukraine got a.
Did.
You guys gave We don't. Well,
I
no.
know.
Okay.
There's so many stories from the journalists that are there and on Reddit and on Twitter of just families that are just begging the government for help and they just will not do anything.
I don't know how that works. I know
Me
some
either,
things take time, and but I know that
A lot of anger about the Ukraine stuff.
Well, I heard that Biden is going to figure that all out after he visits East Palestine.
Yeah, I was gonna say he still hasn't gone there yet.
No, down there.
No.
How about this? Remember when we were having all the wrong way drivers? That was happening all the time. Still happening, and just not reporting on it as much, I guess. But cops in Nebraska released audio of a drunk driver who got arrested after he called 911 to report someone was driving the wrong way on the highway. Guess who that someone was?
Him?
Turned out to be him. He was driving the wrong way. Take a listen to the audio. When you know he's the wrong way driver,
Whoops.
it's funny, but obviously still dangerous. But listen, here he is.
I'm on Highway 77 going north, and there's somebody that is on the wrong side of the road. He had his brights on, man. He almost ran me off the road.
Yeah, do you know why I stopped you?
Yeah, because I was on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah. Were you the one that called in?
Yep.
You were?
Yeah, because I thought somebody was on the wrong side of the road, bro.
But it turned out it was you.
Yep.
It turned out it was you.
Oh, man.
So that happened to me one time. Well, I didn't call it in, but we went to see Bert at the Improv in Orlando. We surprised him. Were you there for this? It was me and Moose, and I thought it was you.
Maybe.
But anyway, we went out there and we surprised him. We sat in the front row when he came out, and we saw it, and we stayed in the hotel that night. And the next morning when I left the hotel, it was downtown Orlando. They had reworked all the traffic patterns with cones and all that construction. So you had to kind of go into town a little bit, then get back on the highway. So I was lost, and I see a cop. And the minute I see the cop's like, bloop, bloop, pulls me over, and I go, what? And the cop goes, how you doing? I go, I'm all right. And he goes, where you headed? I go, well, I was at that hotel, and I'm trying to get on 75 or I-4 rather, and this construction's got me so confused. And he's like, where do you live? I go, Tampa. And he's like, okay. He goes, do you know why I pulled you over? And I go, no. And he goes, because you're going down a one-way. I was like, oh. I go, I couldn't. He goes, I know. It's a confusing pattern. And they let me go, but
Joe's got like one of the greatest scenes in Planes, Trains, Automobiles.
Oh, yeah.
Where they're like, you're going the wrong way. He's like, how the hell do they know where we're going? Yeah, thank you.
The best is John Candy says, how the hell how do they know where we're going? And then Steve Martin agrees with him. And he goes, yeah, how do they know where we're going? That's so good.
Like, thank you.
Yeah, and gives him the drunk.
never saw it.
You're going to die.
So good.
I'm
would
going
like
to commit to watching it this Christmas.
You would really like
Thanksgiving's when you
My
watch it.
wife,
the Thanksgiving
the list of movies, the classics that my wife has not seen, Roadhouse was on the other night. and I go,
she's not seen
come on.
Roadhouse?
I go, have you ever seen Roadhouse? And she goes, no. And I go, oh my God, classic. What
Yeah.
You should have
and
kicked
she,
her out.
She goes, this is awful. And I go, yes, but that's why it's classic. And I totally forgot McGruber got the throat
Yes!
rip from Roadhouse.
Yeah.
I go, because it was coming up, and I go, oh, the throat rip, McGruber. I go, you don't even know where it ties in. Yeah.
I still say the best part of Roadhouse, which I'm so glad you guys forced me to watch it, is after so much murder happens in that mansion,
Yeah.
everybody has a good laugh at the
Oh,
end.
yeah. Oh,
Everybody
yeah.
has a good
Everybody-
giggle.
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just ripped the guy's throat out.
Yeah, and
We-
a polar bear fell on me.
We watched Goonies this weekend. It was on TV,
never
and
saw
we
it.
ended up watching the whole movie.
Oh, it's so good.
They're supposed to be working on a sequel
Yeah.
Too late.
with all the original cast.
The thing is you got Thanos is in there.
Yeah.
You got crazy guy who wouldn't come on the show. What's his name?
Oh,
Corey Feldman.
Yeah.
Corey Feldman. You got Rudy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Samwise.
Yeah. Data.
You got Data.
Which he's hot right now with that movie.
Yep. There's a lot of people in that movie that would make a great movie.
Chunk is still around.
Chunk is not, and the fact that Chunk is not fat
Yeah.
makes it even funnier. Like they still call him Chunk, but he's skinny.
Yep.
That'd be great.
Don't overshare on social media, or it could affect your job prospects. I'm sure everybody knows this by now, but people still put dumb stuff out there. A study found that companies are now using it to look for mental health red flags when they're hiring people. They go through your stuff and they're like, look at this idiot licking ice cream and putting it back. Not hiring this person for sure. Did you know today is Telephone Tuesday?
Oh, what's
Do you know what
is it?
Telephone Tuesday
No,
is?
what does that mean?
It is when businesses supposedly get the most phone calls all year today. It's because everything's open again after the long weekend. Also, people are starting to plan for the holidays and everything that's going on. So today is Telephone Tuesday.
I got an online Tuesday today. I got an issue. I have 2 tickets to go see Pearl Jam on September, I don't know, 15th, 16th, whatever it is.
Next weekend.
Yeah. And it's not a weekend. That's the problem. So I decided I don't think I'm going to go because it's Monday and a Tuesday and blah, blah, blah. And then last night I was having real remorse about it. And I'm like, I want to go. I really want to go. So I'm going to hop around today and try to figure out, I'm going to make a decision whether or not I'm going to go. Because I kind of thought if I don't go, I had four shows to go to. I already blew 2 off. If I blow these next 2 off, when's the next opportunity that I have? I don't like anything as much as I like them music-wise. So I think I might go. I don't know. But I'm going to make a decision.
You've been
today.
going back and forth with this for a while.
Oh, because I finally was like, no, I'm not going.
So it's next Wednesday?
It's the Monday. Because I go to New York this weekend too. That's a lot of traveling.
Oh, why?
Why what?
Why are you going to New York?
To get away from your breath.
No. Not far enough.
I'm sorry, Carmen. I'm sorry. You just set me up for it. I'm going to Old Timers Day for the Yankees this weekend.
That'll be cool.
That will be cool. But if the Pearl Jam thing was on a Friday, or even like if I had to miss a Friday, I'd be like, okay, but it's a Monday and a Tuesday, and it just doesn't make sense. And if I go and I miss, I'll just go to one. Well, I'm there. I might as well stay for both of them.
Was it
You know what I mean?
18th and 19th?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Do you want to come, Gio?
Yeah, I would love to go.
By the way, 2 things. Speaking of planning stuff, I already have your birthday present. How you like that? Talk about this guy being good for planning.
That's pretty good.
And then speaking of shows and stuff, did you see D. Snyder? D. Snyder is just trying to cause problems. Twisted Sister.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah, totally. Because he said that Metallica doing the no repeat weekend thing that they're doing with their concerts is selfish. Because there's people that aren't that big of fans that don't want to hear these deep cuts and this and I'm like, hey, stop talking down about bands that are so much bigger and more successful than you.
And don't talk to what people want to see and what they don't.
Yeah.
If you told me one night I'm going to go to Pearl Jam and see all the hits, I'd be like, yes. And then the next night, all the deep try, I'd be like, yes.
And a band like Metallica, I would say 90% of the people at the show are fans for life.
I disagree.
10%, I would say about 10%, maybe 20% are newer fans, and they want to make sure that
like when you say for life, I would say 80% are from Black Album on.
I would say more than that. Because think about the age of the
What do you
average
mean? What you're saying more of that are Black Album on, or more of that are lifelong fans?
Lifelong. Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, that type of stuff.
I mean, but think about it, Calvin, the age-wise.
The age-wise, but also, or they at least went back and listened to that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
What I'm saying is, if you're going to Metallica and you're hearing something off of Kill 'Em All, if you're hearing Four Horsemen, you love it.
Right.
You want to hear Four Horsemen.
Right.
You know, but they're D's making it sound like they only know Unforgiven and whatchamacallit.
No,
listen, Enter Sandman.
If you're a Metallica fan and you've been a Metallica fan since the 80s, you don't want to hear all of that stuff. You know, you kind of want to. You be like, oh, remember. People know some of those songs from the Garage Days album, the revisited one, but there's not. I don't know. Either way, everybody that I know that have seen them on this tour came back and said it was the best goddamn thing they've ever seen.
Yeah, and I just D. Snyder annoys me.
So what you're saying, I should go see Pearl Jam?
Probably.
I would love to go.
How about this? Maybe this is on your just the cheese off the top of the pizza diet. People are making popsicles out of cottage cheese.
No.
Oh, no.
Well, for those reasons, I'm out.
Listen, when you blend cottage cheese and Greek yogurt, you get the same consistency and a familiar flavor to cream cheese, but with way more protein. So you can actually make cheesecake popsicles using those ingredients.
Maybe something else to make other than a popsicle. You want to know what's it's hard to take your kids to McDonald's when you're on a diet.
Dude,
and I don't even like fast food, but just the smell of everything
You're a
in the car.
champion.
But yesterday I took the kids to go get ice cream.
No.
That was
I don't know how you do that.
Well, I'm and I have to
don't
pass
know.
it to them. Yeah.
One of the biggest fights me and my ex-girlfriend Kelly got into was when I was on the diet and she got McDonald's one night and she brought it and she just ate it right in front of me. I was like, it looks so good.
No consideration.
Oh, I could smell it.
See, at least my wife's supportive. She brings me stuff I could eat.
Yeah, that's nice.
We got Hooters yesterday, and I got naked wings.
Oh, look at this.
Very proud of myself.
Here's another thing that you can wail on food-wise. Subway has a buy one, get one footlong deal going on this weekend. When you order through their app, you use the coupon code FLBOGO.
Oh.
So footlong BOGO, FLBOGO. Yeah. Buy one, get one.
Yeah.
Not too bad. And here you go. How about this? Happy National, and this fits right in, Cheese Pizza Day.
Oh, yes.
I'll
cheese
take
pizza,
just
not
a
just
cheese
cheese, not
pizza.
just-
I bet I can call
Just
three brothers
cheese.
and be like, "Can you send me a cheese pizza without the bread, just the cheese on the top,
Just a big mouth.
round piece of cheese?"
Have you seen Mike Calta?
I'd like to-
He lost like 70 pounds just eating cheese.
I'd like to not poop for a month. Thank
It's
you.
crazy.
So, oh boy, here we go. Start checking the death pool. Margaritaville legend Jimmy Buffett died this past Friday at the age of 76. Apparently, he had been battling a rare and aggressive form of skin cancer for about 4 years. Yeah.
Poor guy.
Can I point out? You owe this guy an apology. Who? Gio.
Why?
Because he said 5 o'clock somewhere, and you said Kenny Chesney or whatever. That's Jimmy Buffett.
No.
Yes,
No.
he
No.
coined the phrase.
No.
Yes, I know that he
No.
has. I know Kenny Chesney has a song, but it's based off of
It's
Jimmy
not
Buffett.
Kenny Chesney.
Or
It's
whoever it
Alan
was.
Jackson.
Alan Jackson.
And it was Alan Jackson's 5 o'clock somewhere song that Jimmy Buffett sang on that he was referring to.
Apologize.
I refuse. Not when I'm right. Not when I'm right. I was never really a fan of Jimmy Buffett
Really?
at all. He has some fantastic songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by all accounts is a great guy.
Yep.
And I feel bad that he is dead. People loved him.
Yeah.
And he is dead.
He kind of sold out, though, towards the end, didn't he?
Well,
Who doesn't?
I like that.
And I think, though, that it's the people that go to Jimmy Buffett shows that make me hate Jimmy Buffett.
Yes.
The coconut guys with coconut bras,
Yeah.
the all-day tailgate. It's the guy.
gotta let loose.
Parrot head.
By the way, women, this has nothing to do with you. It's the guys who have the most miserable, hate their wife lives, wearing suits every day that make this like it's their Super Bowl when they go to a Jimmy Buffett show. Those guys I hate. Jimmy, I like you. Those guys I hate.
Those guys
Sorry,
make it
folks.
tough.
Don't have fun.
What's the best Jimmy Buffett song?
What's the Monday?
Changes in latitude.
No, something about I'm a
Cheeseburger in
sailor.
Paradise.
Yeah.
Cheeseburger in Paradise.
Cheeseburger in Paradise is a good song, but it's kind of
Fins to the left.
that's
whatever.
the one I hate.
Yeah.
You don't like
That's-
that? You don't like Benzo?
What is there to like about
I
that
mean,
song?
it's just a feel good song about enjoying life.
These songs definitely make me want to just lay in the pool all day.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy did it right. All of his songs are about drinking, hanging
Yeah.
out in the sun,
Yeah.
getting high, and
Yeah.
relaxing.
I was talking to somebody over the weekend. I forget who it was. Maybe been one
I
of
think
you
it
guys.
might have been me. 'Cause
Was it you?
yeah.
Yeah. Like, do you think Jimmy Buffett, in his wildest dreams, when he was playing bars and stuff, I'm eventually gonna be a billionaire from these
No.
songs. My Margaritaville, my Cheeseburger in Paradise, like all the merchandise, everything.
I don't even think he knows all the stuff they had. I think somebody just comes in and goes, "Jimmy, we're doing a Margaritaville cruise," and he's like, "Whatever,
Yeah.
just do it."
Here's your
Whatever you
check.
do."
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think he expected it. And I love his story. I think it's great. I like Jimmy Buffett music. I went to it with my
It's
dad.
definitely a Florida thing.
Yeah.
Like my son goes, "Did you see Bert? He did a big tribute to that guy who just died." And I go, "Yeah, he's from Florida. All people from Florida look at Jimmy Buffett as if he's some sort of god." You know?
Yes.
I do remember though in New York, Margaritaville being a big song when it came out when I was a kid. Like I remember everybody liked Margaritaville.
Does it feel good?
Well, Jimmy Buffett, rest in peace. You
You parrot
great
you.
guy. you
Final
know.
change in latitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Another death.
Oh.
And this one went fast. By the way, thank you to everyone who
I know.
sent me the article. I don't know, 2 days after we already all knew about it and
Yeah.
stuff. Smash Mouth singer Steve Harwell passed away from liver failure. He was 56 years old. So he went into hospice and like the next day was dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They printed a thing on TMZ that said he had days to live, and I immediately put in my emergency pick
So
for
did
him.
I.
So did everybody else.
Yes.
Do you know who got him?
I do know.
Yeah.
Congratulations
Old
to
stanky breath.
Carmen. Carmen, who gets points for Steve Harwell, the singer.
Carmen, your breath smells worse than Steve Harwell does right now.
Do we think Carmen's breath killed Steve Harwell?
Oh man, maybe he killed himself.
Carmen
smelled
got 44 points because you cannot, with an emergency pick, you can't. Harwell was leaving the band
Yeah,
because
because they
they
said
did,
it was crazy or something.
well, he did the at the live show. He said he was going to kill everybody in the audience,
Yeah.
and then flipped them off and just walked off
Yeah.
stage and stuff. Clearly battling stuff.
Oh,
Clearly
yeah.
had serious problems. Yeah, he wound up having bad liver problems, which was boozy.
I was reading that at like the height of his drinking, he was just crushing handles of vodka.
Reminds me of somebody I know.
So Carmen gets points for Smash Mouth singer Steve Harwell. Another death of another singer.
Uh-oh.
Please don't tell us about your dreams, Dreamweaver. Dreamweaver singer Gary Wright passed away at the age of 80. He was suffering from Parkinson's and Lewy body dementia, which is the
I know
same.
what that is.
Yeah, what Robin Williams had there.
That's the one where you wait.
The proteins in your brain.
What's the one? I don't know. I remember there was the one where kids don't realize that they're getting fat, like they can't stop eating. That's something other. Lewy body.
That's Bert Kreischer disease. No, Lewy body is the second most common type of dementia after Alzheimer's. Protein deposits in called Lewy bodies develop in nerve cells in the brain. The protein deposits affect the brain region involved in thinking, memory, and movement.
Still, there was a disease where kids, they didn't have the part in their body that tells them to stop eating, and they were getting obese, and they hired Artie Lang to do a private function for these kids, and Artie didn't really quite get it, and he just kept making fun of fat kids. Oh, man, Dreamweaver, baby. I used to love this girl that I didn't really know named Gina Weaver.
Yeah.
Who now I'm friends with her husband and her. But Gina Weaver. Used to sing that. All right, well.
By the way, how about that for the trio of death? You know, they say come in threes. All singers.
Yeah.
Jimmy Buffett, Steve Harwell, and Gary Wright. Interesting.
I blame the vaccine.
You are thinking of Prader-Willi syndrome, which is a genetic disorder.
Prader-Willi.
Yeah, they causes a constant sense of hunger since the age of 2 years old.
I feel like I have that a little bit too.
Yeah.
I don't know what the correct way of saying it was, but Artie was calling it the Prader-Willi disease, and it made it 100 times funnier that he was telling fat kid jokes at this thing. And they were getting mad at him.
I bet.
Spanish, I'm surprised you're not stuck there. Burning Man attendees began to finally leave the soggy festival site after days of torrential rain, and the exodus from the Nevada desert site began on Monday. The festival's fiery climax, postponed twice, finally took place, but people were out there stuck. I heard Chris Rock and Diplo had to go like 6 miles through mud, and then finally got to somebody who had a truck, and they put him in the back of the pickup truck. And
but what is this? I saw a video of Las Vegas flooding. I mean, these Nevada flood, the deserts are flooding now. What's going on there?
All around the world. It's not just here in America. It's happening in Africa, Egypt. Deserts are flooding. Water's coming up from the ground.
I thought you were going to sing a Spanish song.
Have you seen any of the conspiracies coming out of this? Because there was a couple news stories that said there was an Ebola outbreak at Burning Man.
Well, listen, that I believe. And I remember in 1997, I got a huge packet in the mail. It was a binder, and it had all these pictures, and it was somebody trying to explain Burning Man to me. And this is before the internet was a big deal. People were just kind of figuring out websites at that point. And I didn't understand what it was. They burned that big thing at the end, and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't know what it is. They're like, we want to come on and talk about it. I was like, no, this sounds so dumb. It's far away. I don't get it. But then over the years, I thought I would love to go there. Not like every year, but I'd love to go there one time and just see it. I remember JoJo said she would go, and I would love to plan a trip and get an RV and just go and do it. But man, I don't know. After seeing this, I didn't even be like being stuck at livestock, let alone at Burning Man and having to ration food and all that stuff. Because they don't want you to. They want you to go in there and create a city among, like, within the city. So they want you to bring stuff in to barter with other people. So there is a shortage of stuff when you're going. You're like, I got all the water. Billy's bringing all the meat. Then all of a sudden, everybody's like, well, we don't have any meat.
Billy didn't show up.
Yeah. Billy's thing is underwater, so we don't have any meat.
The problem with that is I don't think you're glamping. I think you're going, and it's very
But that's what I'm saying. Like, one time I would like to just go out there and be dirty and muddy for the week and see weird people selling dream catchers and all that. Yeah,
I think everybody there has Carmen's breath.
Stand by. Carmen's got something. Lower your headphones.
I need dough. Cash. This hour's bonus keyword is winner. Winner. Head over to the free 1025 The Bone app and enter the keyword within 15 minutes past the top of the hour and go get your $1,000. It's the Bone Bonus, sponsored by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
There you go. Go get your bone bonus right now. Win $1,000 to buy us a pizza.
So the Ebola outbreak is interesting because they're one of Fauci's bio labs in the U.S. is right by this Burning Man thing that he was supposed to shut down. Yeah,
Poor little Italian guy just
Yeah.
trying to help people, and everybody's trying to make him
Oh,
evil.
yeah.
All of a sudden, he's Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
I love them cutting to him saying, I never said that it would do this. I never said that. I never said that we were going to have to shut down the country. And then they go back like 2 years, and he goes, I told the president we're going to have to shut down the country. And it's like, no, you never said it. You know there's video out there, right? You know
crazy.
that you're on camera when you're talking.
I just
I mean,
want
not
to
on
stay in
this
the
show,
house.
but other ones.
I don't want there to be COVID. I just want him to make us all stay in the house again. I love that. That was my favorite thing ever.
Well, it might be coming.
I
Yeah.
hope so.
Comedian Shane Gillis made his Netflix debut today with his
good.
stand-up special called Beautiful Dogs. It was filmed earlier this year in Virginia during his Shane Gillis live tour. Beautiful Dogs is a follow-up to Gillis's 2021 YouTube special, Shane Gillis Live in Austin. So very nice. By the
Good
way,
for him.
I
love Shane.
I watched about a half hour of it this
Yeah.
morning. One of the
This
funniest-
morning?
yes.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he right now I would say he is my favorite comedian out there.
And he's been on the show a bunch of times. He's been on my podcast a bunch of times. He's a good dude. I like Shane a lot.
It was hilarious. By the way, the first half hour is already so funny. Like right out of the gate, it's great. So I highly recommend it.
Shane Gillis got the job on Saturday Night Live and then got kicked off because they made some comedic racist comments about Asian people on other podcasts, and they had to take him off the show. And I think that made him more popular than ever. And now he's just like, well, I'm already tagged being racist. I'll just say whatever I want now. So he just not attacks. Like he just makes jokes. He just makes jokes.
Yeah,
and
it's
jokes
funny.
are fun.
So do you think that Tom Brady actually uses Hertz rental car company?
No.
No?
Yes.
No.
I don't know. I mean, like, is Tom Brady renting a car?
No.
Right?
Yeah, he travels a lot.
I
Yeah,
think
but I would think
car
he gets
service
picked up
yeah.
everywhere, you know?
Is this advertising or is this real? Somebody found a receipt from Tom Brady in a Hertz rental car.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Darren Ravel put it out there. We have the thing up on Bone TV there. So it does say Tom Brady, and it has this rental thing, whatever. And Tom actually commented on it because whenever Darren Ravel put it up there, and it says, hey, Tom Brady, I think you left your receipt in the center console of this rental in the Hamptons. I guess you actually do use Hertz. Tom said, I tried to tell you guys I actually use Hertz. What's the ad value of this receipt?
Hey, but I also use Hertz, and Hertz has the great.
You and Tom are the same.
In a couple of different. We both, anyway, we both mouth kiss our kids.
Yeah.
I like when you get to a certain level and you just walk out and just go pick out any car you want. You don't have to talk to anybody. You don't do anything. You just get in your car. You drive out to the gate, hand the guy your paper, and he just lets you go or scans your thing, and you're done. It is a very convenient way to do it, and they have high-end cars.
So it says on here, Tom Brady, VIP Platinum,
Ooh.
and it says vehicle is a 2023 Suburban. License has the number there, whatever the rate, rental rate. $402.35. They charge him? By the way, total with taxes and stuff, $485.33. You charge Tom Brady?
A Suburban makes sense.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of kids with him.
I got off in L.A., and I walked over, and I said, can I just take this convertible? And they go, yeah, any car in the row. I went, all right, I like this.
Fancy.
Yeah, it was great. You know, so good for you, Tom Brady. It's more and more things that we have in common.
I don't know if you guys are big fans or not, but How I Met Your Father has already been canceled by Hulu.
Never watched one episode of it.
How I Met Your Mother was a good show. That was a funny show. And then they were like, what else can we do? How I Met Your Father. Yeah, let's do that. No.
Was it a totally different cast, or was
Yeah.
there some type of connection?
It was Hillary Duff
Oh.
and then a bunch of other just random people.
Taylor Swift's concert film, The Eras Tour, premieres October 13th at AMC Theaters. It's already earned tens of millions of dollars in pre-sale tickets. It has so much hype that Universal has moved the release of The Exorcist Believer, so it doesn't even compete with the Taylor Swift thing.
I saw my wife frantically trying to get Taylor Swift tickets, and I thought, is this for the Miami show next year? What are we doing? And realized it was for the movie.
Yeah.
My daughter and my wife are fans, but my daughter is obsessed after going to the concert for Taylor Swift, so much that I'm playing it in the car all the time. And now she discovered that you can watch full concerts on YouTube. I believe I'm now a Taylor Swift fan because I know all the words to all her songs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy. But it's interesting because this is the first thing that my daughter has really been attached to, and I've done so many things for my son, but yet my son likes rappers that I've never heard of before, so it's pretty easy to kind of connect him with my job. And with her, she likes the biggest artist in the world, and it's a little bit harder, and I think she's not going to feel as loved. I worry about that. If she's a stripper, that's why. I do want to thank Uncle Orlando from Wild, because Rod Wave, who lives in St. Pete, had his big concert that was at the Amalie Arena this weekend, where he brought out a bunch of his guests and friends and all that. And Joey had tickets to that. And then he came into the kitchen and he looked at me and he showed me this thing that Orlando put on social media. It said that he was giving away Rod Wave backstage passes.
Oh.
So I called Uncle Orlando and I said, Joey, any way you can help up Joey? And he did, and Joey got to go backstage and meet Rod Wave.
Nice.
And 2C and UC and Little Woo C and all those people I never heard of before.
Speaking of music, I have some new music for you guys.
Oh, baby.
This is a cover, and it's a different version that you would hear, so they kind of made it their own. Yeah, I'll just tell you. It's kind of a reggae version of a song. Tell me when you know the song, and you know the artist who is doing it. All right. Okay? Carmen, if you can start at like 15 seconds, because it's got a little bit of an intro. Here we go. New music on the Mike Calta Show.
She only comes out at night.
I know the song. Is it the same artist?
What's the song?
Man-Eater.
Yeah, it's Hall & Oates.
Man-Eater. Who's doing it?
Okay.
I seen her here before, watching and waiting. She's sitting with you, but her eyes are on the door.
And do you like it?
No.
I do.
Is it Oates?
It is Oates.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. It's John Oates from Hall & Oates. You can turn it down, Carmen. He is doing a reggae version of Man-Eater, and I think it's garbage.
I agree.
I think it's garbage, and I think if it was anybody else doing it, you would go, this is garbage. Even with John Oates doing it, it's garbage.
It's still garbage.
But
Sounds completely
it's too
off.
jumbled up.
Yeah, exactly.
I do want to point out, though, that Oates is always the joke. Like, everybody's like, oh, what would Oates do? And, there was John Oates' mustache had its own
There's that comedy
cartoon.
team, Garfunkel and Oates.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Oates is so much part of Hall & Oates. Like he is harmonies and he sings louder and more he's more vocally present than Daryl Hall in some of the songs.
Why isn't it Oates and Hall then?
By the way, do you know what's also important to Hall & Oates? Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
they're a
terrible.
team.
No,
you know
no,
what I mean? Neither one of them had a successful solo career. That's what happened. You have Hall and Oates. That's it. But I don't think Oates gets the credit because he was the shorter one and because he doesn't look like the rock star that Daryl Hall did. That's all I'm saying. Whoa, here she comes. Anyway, Oates sucks as a reggae singer.
Yeah, not good at all. Finally, in news, I have a list for you guys. MovieWeb.com put a list out of the 16 best sports biopics of all time. Really, sports movies. I mean, they're definitely. I don't know whether this one is a biopic. I guess, yeah. So they have actual people that were in sports that they're talking about in these. So what do you think the 16 best sports biopics of all time? Rudy comes in number 4.
Oh, wow.
Number 4, Rudy, yes.
I like the one with Mark Wahlberg from Philadelphia where he is the guy who I can't remember his name.
Invincible,
but I can't remember the player's name.
Papa Giorgio.
Tony
No.
Papa Giorgio.
What is
Vince Papali.
Papali, yeah. Invincible, which is the Mark Wahlberg movie, is, let's see, not in the top 16.
How about
Blind
Mark?
Side.
The Blind Side.
Oh, that
very
farce.
Controversial. Comes in at number 13, Carmen. Yes.
What about the other Mark Wahlberg movie where he is the
Irish Mickey Ward.
Mickey Ward,
the fighter.
yeah.
Not in the top
Cinderella
16.
Man?
Cinderella Man. What's his name?
Can't remember.
James Braddock.
Damn.
Cinderella Man comes in at number 10. One of the greatest movies.
I
Number
love
10.
Cinderella
Great
Man.
movie. By the way, you're missing one that you've been talking about quite a bit lately.
Oh,
You've been talking about this movie quite a bit lately. You watch it a lot, and it comes in at number 5. I'll tell you that.
42.
watch
No,
it. I do love
not
42.
that.
Oh.
Not that one that I was thinking of, but 42. No, not in
Really?
the
Wow,
not in the
that's
top
good.
10. Yeah.
Great movie.
That is a great
Moneyball.
movie.
Carmen
Moneyball.
Moneyball comes in at number 5. Yeah, you've been talking about it a lot.
Yeah.
lately. Think about biopics. Think about they made a movie about a famous athlete. Some of the different ones.
Was there a Babe Ruth
Oh,
bio?
What about
80 for Brady.
Muhammad Ali?
80 for Brady is not in there. Ali comes in at number 16.
I thought Ali was a really good movie.
Number 16. Yeah, I thought it was good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So funny. I just talked about this guy this morning. Running.
Oh, Steve Prefontaine?
No, not Pre.
Forrest Gump.
Chariots of Fire.
Oh.
Number 15. Chariots of Fire. What about some of the other ones? What else do we got?
Does something like Friday Night Lights make the list?
No,
or
because
just
it's a
individual?
biopic.
A League
Yeah.
of Their Own?
No.
$1 Million Baby.
Biopic. No. It's
None
a
of those
biopic.
movies are real.
Real athletes.
Um,
Stick with me, folks.
The Hurricane.
Oh, yeah.
Hurricane with Denzel Washington not in the top.
What?
But there are some boxing movies in there. There are some boxing movies in there.
That was
Creed?
the
No,
one with De Niro.
Once again, Carmen, real athlete.
I don't know boxers.
Jake LaMotta.
Jake LaMotta,
Raging
Bull comes in at number 6.
Ali?
Yes. Real boxer.
I already
Ali-
s-
Oh,
What
geez.
show are you
welcome to the
listening
show.
Thank you.
Yeah, we said Ali.
Rocky
16.
is real to me, damn it.
So 16 is Ali. Number 15 is Chariots of Fire. Number 14,
The Wrestler.
Ford versus Ferrari.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Yeah, number 13 was The Blind Side.
Oh, can I throw in one?
I'm sorry. You know what? The Fighter was in there. I skipped right past it. The Fighter came in at number 11.
Okay.
My bad.
One of the best movies I've ever seen.
Yeah?
Ever.
Yeah?
That I don't think is on this list, and I don't care about racing whatsoever, was that movie with Chris Hemsworth.
It's on there.
It
Rush.
is?
Rush. Comes in at
What
number
a
7.
Great movie, and the fact that it's a true story,
Yeah.
it makes it 100 times better.
I'll tell you what. That other guy, that other actor,
It's unbelievable.
really
actor,
good.
Yeah.
He's really good. He's been in a bunch of different stuff. He's one of those that guys.
Do you know this story?
Daniel Bruhl. Is
Do you know
that
the story of the
gentleman.
movie?
I don't.
They were real racers in the 70s, and maybe late 60s, early 70s. They were IndyCar racers. The one guy that Hemsworth played had the long blonde hair, used to bang models. He would smoke and do drugs and like hang out. The other guy was a real intelligent, scientific approach to racing. His family was really rich, so he would buy his way into the race, and then he would figure out what was up with his car, and it ended up being the two of them neck and neck for the race. Then they get to a race. It's an outdoor track that's through like the countryside, and it's raining, and they're deciding whether or not they should cancel the race. So the one guy says, "This is dangerous for all of us. We shouldn't do this." So they vote on it, and Chris Hemsworth says, "The only reason you don't want to do it
Say
is
it like him.
because
Say it like
I can't. Is because you're going to catch me in the points if we. I mean, I'm going to catch you in the points if we do it, and I'm going to beat you." So they vote on it, and they vote to race. And the guy who didn't want to race at a safety gets in an accident and gets burnt up like on 70% of his body. Then he goes to the hospital. His head hurts so bad he can't even get a helmet on. Like his face is all burnt. He gets his body back into shape, all burnt up and everything, enough to get back in the race car and go back and win. It's an unbelievable story, and the fact that it's a true story. So a lot of times because of Google, I'll be able to Google while I'm watching and look at the guys, and you could see them and you could see the story and the whole thing. It's an amazing story, and I think it's Ron Howard, isn't it? So it's done really well. But I love it. It's something that I look at and I go, I couldn't care less about that. And then I watch it and I'm totally moved by it. That's a good movie, man.
Check
Rush.
that out. Yeah.
All right, what else?
Yeah, it is Ron Howard directed that one.
Yeah.
So let's see. The Blind Side, number 13. Number 12. Would you watch a movie about a guy who is doing ski jumps?
Oh, the Eagle.
Eddie the Eagle.
Yeah.
Eddie the Eagle, yeah, which was a real guy. Number 11 was The Fighter. Number 10, Cinderella Man. Number 9 was a good, interesting movie. It was one of the biggest stories in sports of all time, and they did a movie about her. And talk about having a
I, Tanya?
super hot.
That was a good movie.
Super hot girl play a not hot
Yeah.
girl. Yeah, I, Tanya comes in at number 9.
That's a pretty good movie,
That
too.
was good.
It's funny and it's good.
Number 8 is the Williams sisters, their father, King Richard.
I never
Never
watched
saw
it.
it, yeah.
It was all right.
It was okay.
It was all right. I just don't like Will Smith, so
Yeah.
that took it down a few notches for me. Number 7 was Rush. Number 6, Raging Bull. Number 5, Moneyball. These are the top biopics for sports. Number 4, you got right off the bat, was Rudy. You guys have not got the top 3. The top 3, and I can give you, do you want me to give you the sports?
Yeah, give me the sports. I can concentrate on one.
Number 3 is wrestling, Greco-Roman, not professional.
So, Vision Quest?
no.
Oh, my God. That movie with Steve Carell?
Yes.
Oh, that movie
Foxcatcher.
was great.
Yeah.
Foxcatcher.
I
Yeah,
forgot,
really
man. I
good.
got to watch that again.
DuPont.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, DuPont.
He
Steve
was
Carell
freaky.
should have gotten every award for that
He
movie.
totally should have. Yeah,
They all were great.
Yeah, I thought they were really good in there. What's his name that plays Hulk was in there as well.
Lou Ferrigno?
No,
No.
Mark Ruffalo.
Ruffalo, yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's a great movie.
It's really good.
Foxcatcher. Yeah.
And true story,
I know.
crazy story, man. Number 2, hockey.
Miracle?
Do you believe in miracles? Yes, Miracle comes in at number 2.
movie's
That was a good
terrible.
movie. Kurt Russell?
Kurt Russell was great.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell,
Russell was
yeah,
great.
that movie.
Number 1 is the one that I was like, is this a biopic? Because like, I guess it was real, but even though you know the team more than you know football, high school football, not Friday Night Lights.
Oh,
Varsity
remember
Blues.
the Titans.
Remember the
Oh,
Titans?
yeah.
That is a true story.
Is
Yeah,
it really?
but I think athlete,
Yeah.
athlete that you know,
Yeah.
but you don't really.
Yeah, that's why I
so-
said, because Friday Night Lights is based on a real high school as well.
Sure,
really?
yeah.
I don't. Was there a Coach Boone? I'm sorry, Coach Coon.
I
Yeah.
think there was. Well, for Remember the Titans, yeah. Because I remember he died not too long ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember seeing the story in the news.
Remember, the Titans has a young Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Ethan Suplee.
Good movie.
It's a really good movie. I watch that one every once in a while too. And then the girl, Hayden Panettiere, is like one of the best kid actors ever.
So that comes in number 1 for MovieWeb for their list of 16 best sports
I gotta
biopics.
tell you, it's the first
of
list
all
you had where I
time.
kind of agree
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
42 should be on there. That's
Yeah,
a
I
great
agree.
movie.
42 is a
Yeah.
great movie.
42, Steve the Pirate from Dodgeball having to yell the N-word
Yeah.
at him. Oh, man.
No.
How does that go
I mean,
down?
not just yell at it, but say, I'm going to use the word trigger. Would
Yeah.
that be okay?
Oof.
I wouldn't even do that.
All right. I'll use the
We all
word
know what he's
nipple.
saying.
Let's just say nipple. No, that's too close. Let's just say lollipop. He's Jackie Robinson's up, and he plays the coach, and he's at the grass at the dugout, and he's looking right at him. And he's like, lollipop, 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 lollipop. Come on, lollipop, lollipop, lollipop. And you're like, ugh. Like it hurts you to watch it for everybody.
Yeah.
And he did it with such conviction.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. Yeah. So there you go. There's
Lollipop,
one.
lollipop, lollipop. There you go.
Not cool. That
Hey,
is it for news.
really good movie. A lot of those are all good movies
Yeah.
too.
Foxcatcher. One that you should rewatch for sure.
Yeah,
Such a good
I
cream.
forgot about Foxcatcher. They said that the DuPont guy that Steve Carell played used to have dandruff in his eyebrows. That's gross. That's really gross. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back from break, a gentleman named Ben Mallow will be here. Some of you in the area might know Ben. Some of you on the YouTube know Ben. Ben is a real estate mogul. He owns hotels. He bought, the last time he was on the show, it's because he bought the biggest house and the highest priced house in Tampa Bay's history. And he is currently in my house right now, probably just picking apart. So we will bring him in the studio, and we'll come back. We'll talk a little bit about real estate and what exactly he does on the YouTube. And I got to tell you, he's just one of those people that's interesting to me, and I'm interested in talking to him. So we'll bring him in the studio with us next. Dom is still scheduled to join us to do Ask the Dom coming up at 9 o'clock. We must take a break. It's the Mike Calta Show. I want to tell you about my friends at Walsh Roofing and Solar before we go to break. Do you know that Walsh Roofing and Solar currently putting a roof on Tom Calta's home? That's right. I love them so much. They did my roof, and it was so good, and I tell you people about them, and I know some of you are like, well, did they really use them and all that? Of course they do. They put the roof on my home, and I currently turn them on to my dad to do his roof. And if you're looking for solar, they do roofing and solar. So if you're looking for solar on your home, and you're like, how can I stop this ridiculous electric bill from getting higher and higher? Let Walsh Roofing and Solar come on out and give you an estimate for what it could be for you to get solar panels on your roof and how much you could save every month by simply harnessing the sun that is already there. It is already out for you, and your bills right now are probably the highest they've been all year. Imagine getting a bill that's $1, $2, or sometimes they give you a credit. That actually happens. All you need to do is go to walshroofingandsolar.com and schedule an appointment for a free estimate, whether it be for your roof or for solar. Tell them you heard about it on this show. Tell them you want the Tom Calta deal. And they'll come on out to your house. It's walshroofingandsolar.com. Quick break. We'll be back with Ben Mallah next on 102.5 The Bone.
Now, it's the Mike Calta Show.
It is 8:28 on the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. We have one of our best guests dressed ever in the studio.
Yeah.
I barely put shoes on to come down here in the morning. Ben Mallah is here. How are you, buddy?
Pretty good. How are you? Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Ben, I got to tell you, I'm happy to have you. I ran into you the other day at Frankie's Chop House, and I had a great time there. I thought the restaurant was really cool. I liked the people that hang out there. And you and I hadn't seen each other in a long time, and you said, hey, we should come on the show. And I'm glad that you're here because I find you to be one of the most interesting people that I kind of know and don't really know. And I think more people definitely need to know. Do you remember the last time you were on the show?
It was quite a long time ago.
It was by phone, and it was when they reported that you had purchased the largest home in Tampa Bay history.
That was 3 years ago.
Yeah, but
I thought you were talking before that. No, I forgot about being on this show physically, or
no.
Okay.
So that, although I will tell you, one time I had a heat with one of Ben's business partners, and I didn't know Ben, and Ben called me up and he goes, "What's going on?" And I go, "Man, this guy's taking shots at me. I'm taking shots at him." And you're like, "I'm trying to run a goddamn restaurant over here," and you put us together and kind of fixed everything. And I was like, "This guy's great." But I don't really know your history. I do know that one time one of my friends from New York sent me an article, and you were putting all of your assets up for sale for like $1 billion or whatever it was, or $100 million, and
250.
What was it? 250 million?
At that back then. That was a while ago.
And you were willing to sell all of your assets for 250 and retire. And evidently nobody took you up on that offer.
I had a couple offers, but I don't like getting involved with the Russians.
I don't blame you. And all right, tell me where you're from, like originally. Where were you born?
Near where you were born. You're from Staten Island, right?
I'm from Staten Island,
Okay,
yes.
so, we don't want to talk about Staten Island.
No, there's nothing really good.
There's a reason why they're on an island, okay?
Right.
I grew up in New York, really bad neighborhoods. I grew up in a really lousy town of Far Rockaway in a bad part.
Okay.
Beach, but it was really rough around the projects, a lot of crime-ridden, very poor. My father's the only person that bought real estate back in the 60s, and he picks the worst place in New York where you lose money. Anyway, long story short, I grew up in New York. It was really, really bad. I got bounced around from Queens to Brooklyn to Hell's Kitchen in Manhattan. My playground was Times Square when I was like a young teenager at 14, 15.
When Times Square was bad.
Really bad, really bad.
Like now there's Disney stores there and Ulta.
Yeah, it's different, but it's getting a little bad again. But anyway, so I grew up in New York, and I got in a lot of trouble when I was a kid. But I wasn't, a tough guy. I hung out with a lot of tough guys.
Right.
It's how you get protected in the neighborhood. But I grew up in New York. It really wasn't good, and my family was fairly dysfunctional. And I joined the Army at 17. Basically, I had no choice.
Did you say, I'm going to get my act together and I got to go join the Army?
No, I got in a lot of trouble.
And
so basically, I'll tell you the true story, I got nothing to hide. So basically, I'm 17, and I got in some more trouble, and I went in front of the judge, and the judge recognized me because he's seen me before.
Right.
And luckily, I came to court with the recruiter. And back then, they'll take you. I didn't do nothing violent. I didn't hurt people, and I wasn't, a real hardcore criminal. I was around a lot of them, but I was.
So
just
the
a young
judge
kid.
says you're going to go to jail, and the recruiter says, "Your Honor, we got this guy locked up for the Army already."
Well, basically, the judge says, "Okay, big shot. What are you going to do?" So I saluted the judge. I turned to the recruiter. I said, "Can we go now?" And then the Army pretty much saved my life. So they got me in when I was 17. They took me right out of New York. They sent me to training, and they sent me to Germany for 3 years. I got my life in order, and it just got me out of my surroundings. The problem is you're a product of your environment.
100%.
No matter how strong you try to be, how good you try to be, you're a product of your environment. You can't get away from it because you're living around it.
Right.
So basically, the Army saved my life.
What's worse is you don't know what else is out there. You think in that environment that this is the rest of the world is just like you are.
If I didn't join the Army, I'd be dead. Let's just face it. I'd be dead or rotting away in jail. I mean, it's just the way it was when I was growing up. So basically, I joined the Army, and then I went to Germany, and then I spent a few years in Germany, and then they sent me to California. I rented an apartment in a property that was all military, living there.
Right.
And, and I kind of got into real estate. I started picking up garbage around the building for $50 a month off my rent.
Uh-huh.
My rent was $500 a month. They gave me $50 a month off of it just to go around, pick up the garbage. That was a lot of money for me back then. I was 21 years old. And then I started doing more and more, helping the older lady that was a manager, helping her more and more around the building. And then I got to meet the owner. And, I started getting things more improved. So I was in the Army. I was doing property management. And, I was off to, I like real estate. I felt like I belonged in that type of field. And plus I saw how good the owner was living. This guy's living good. This guy's driving fancy cars. He's got fancy houses. Let me get with him, help him, and help myself.
Learn his, his
so,
way.
it worked out to be a great relationship. I worked for him for many years. Then I moved on, got some more experience. And then I came back and became his partner later on after I got more experience. And he also didn't keep all the promises he made me.
Uh-huh.
I was raising kids and everything, and my personal life was a wreck back then, and raising kids by myself, and it was in Oakland, California. It was a very rough town, but to me, it wasn't that rough because I grew up in New York.
Right.
I was around guys like you from Staten Island. I could handle anything. So, I knew how to get around in the streets. I knew how to get along with everybody. I can get along with anybody. I don't care who you are. I'll talk to the bum on the street. You never know what information he can give me that'll help me, to the biggest rich guy around. It doesn't matter. We're all human beings. So basically, Oakland was a very, very tough town. Actually, it was tougher than New York in many ways, especially back in the early 90s. It was very dangerous. Drugs, all this crime, everything, murders. So I just felt like, hey, I can take the properties that nobody else wanted
in Oakland.
So
you go by
the worst. I'd go to the streets that nobody even wanted to go on.
Right.
They were afraid to. Okay, they were afraid. As simple as that.
Yeah.
And the courthouse steps, when the auctions would go off for the foreclosures, these guys are pretty tough at the foreclosure circle. But when certain properties came up on the auction block, a lot of guys just
nobody wanted
walked
them,
back.
yeah.
I said, you know what? I'll take it. I take it. I go get some guys in the street, whatever, drug addicts, whatever you want to call. I don't care. Anybody willing to work. I felt had a skill. I take them, pay them, some money. I go to Home Depot. We'd fix the place up. I'd rent it out to an affordable housing family, to the housing authority, and I'd take garbage and turn it into gold.
Yeah, you always get paid when you do it through the affordable housing because you're getting through the government.
Guaranteed money.
Right.
And the tenants pay very little every month. You're helping a good family that needs some help. And it was a great thing. And I just kept rocking and rolling. And I would never touch the money, ever. As soon as I sold a deal, I took advantage of the tax laws that we have in this country called 1031. I'd turn it into the next deal when I'd sell it, or a lot of times I'd refinance it for the cash flow, and I just keep rolling until, you start with that little snowball and it becomes a big snowball.
Right. So how many do you have in Oakland? When you start out, you get the one, then
I started
how long?
with crap. I started with like a duplex or houses that were nobody wanted. I mean, I've actually, on one occasion, I actually had a dead body in the house and I unboarded it. In the bathtub, it was a decomposing body in the bathtub when I bought it. My guys that did the hauling weren't happy about that one. But anyway, you did what you had to do. Let's face it, I was in my 20s, okay?
Yeah.
When you're in your 20s, you can do almost anything if you put your mind to it. So, I came up really hard. So I started buying, and then I got a reputation. I was also really good at management because I'm a people person. I love dealing with people. I love working with people. When people have conflict, there's a middle ground you got to find. Whenever you have conflict with somebody, find the middle ground and come up with a solution. Okay, so I opened up an office of my own in Oakland where everybody knew. People on their last resort came to me. I was their savior, and I was happy to.
So you weren't you weren't a slumlord. You were actually
No,
trying to help
all
people
our
out.
properties had to be inspected by the housing authority.
Right.
You had what they call housing quality standards. You had a strict inspection when they moved in. Everything had to be in picture perfect shape. All right, it wasn't the Taj Mahal, but everything had to work.
Well, you
had
brought
smoke
everything up to-
detectors.
yeah.
The windows had to work. It had to be safe. It had to be clean, and it had to be a decent place for people to live. And that's what I did. So I always maintained them. Okay,
Yeah.
So I wasn't a slumlord, but I was in the slums.
Yeah.
Trying to.
But you were helping people out. I mean, that's more of a thing. Let me just tell you, it's so funny because in our history, you have acted as a mediator before. Your appearance looks like you'd be a bad guy. You know what I mean?
Have you ever looked in the mirror?
Trust me, I kind of look like we might be related.
I know. You never
so
know.
funny.
My
I
mother
was
got
just
around.
thinking that while you guys were talking, I was looking back and forth, and I'm like, they might be related.
Yeah, he's not Jewish.
No, that's true. So, but what I'm saying is that you do have most people that come up the way you did, they're bitter, and they don't have. Once they start getting a taste of success, they forget where they came from, and the key is not forgetting that.
I'm the opposite. I was lucky. I got successful. I never went one day to high school.
Really?
Not one day. I got my GED in the Army eventually, but I never went one day to high school. I mean, once I started making money, I mean, I was the type, I always felt like this, even when I didn't have a lot of money. If you help the people around you, you're helping yourself.
Yeah.
Because now they can help you. They get help. Everybody lives happily ever after. The whole world would just start helping people, each other, especially people connected with your life. Then everything works for everybody. I never seen, taking people that don't have money and helping them make money makes them a better person, makes the whole world better. Everybody gets along. Because I didn't see too many unhappy people with money. Well, we got a couple, like, we don't want to mention the guys running for president, but anyway.
So what was the first, when you graduate from the low income housing, what's your first big step into?
I mean, I moved to Florida in 2004.
Right.
All right. I had enough of California. I couldn't deal with the politics. I couldn't deal with, things
What's
get
your
really
net worth
bad.
in 2004? Do you think approximately? Like, what do you think?
Maybe about 20. Maybe I made up to 20 million. Maybe. I have to go back and check.
All from the homes in Oakland.
I mean, what happened was, and I got the money guy that I used to work for.
Right.
He had money, and he knew banking. He taught me a lot about borrowing money. The key to making money in real estate is the banks.
Yeah, using other people's money.
Of course. So basically, I got with him. We started doing big deals. I did all the work. He put up the credit and half of the money, and eventually we became 50-50 partners, and we did really well. We started branching out to all parts of the Bay Area in California, but it was all still always low income. Always.
Yeah.
We never did anything but low income. He did some big fancy stuff, but I was always in the low income part of it. So then, in 2004, I was getting remarried, and I didn't want to raise a new family in California. So we came, and I looked at the whole country and what real estate was like, and I saw most of the opportunity was either here in this part of Florida, in the center, or in Las Vegas. And I didn't want to take a young wife and raise a family in Las Vegas. It wasn't for me. So we came here. We fell in love with the place. We came to Clearwater, and we just started buying opportunities that we thought had value to them. Plus, I had to spend the money because I had 1031 money from those deals that I sold out of California. So I had to hurry up and reinvest it here. So it all worked out great. And we've been here since 2004, and we love it. We've raised kids and families. I've got all kinds of kids from.
But you're no
earlier
longer,
years.
when you move here, you're no longer doing low income. You go right
I do
into
my kids and me do everything. We
Yeah.
don't care. I don't care. I love
you
a
have a
football
hotel?
team. We have about half a dozen hotels.
Where are they?
We've got the Holiday Inn, where I'm going to have a live show October the 7th. You come on down. Go
Where
to
is this?
benmal.com/live and get your ticket, baby. Okay, we got the Holiday Inn at 700 Northwest Shore by the airport. We
Okay.
got the 4 Point Sheraton on Cypress right down the block by Tampa Airport. We just sold the Ramada down there. We've got Clearwater Beach Hotel right there in the heart of the beach across from Shepherd's. We've got, we just bought rehab in Treasure Bay Resort in Treasure Island. I'm building a bunch of hotel rooms at John's Pass. We own a big chunk of John's Pass with the marina and all the fishing boats and Hooters and Bubba Gumps and all that stuff. And, so we got hotels there. I just sold one in Fort Lauderdale. And we got a sleep-in, I think it's a sleep-in next to the Air Force Base in
I
Tampa.
love that you don't know the name of the hotels you and that's great. That just shows you how
I
successful
mean,
you are.
I'm juggling about
I know.
30 different assets right
But
now.
that's great though. Okay, so
But I don't deal with the day-to-day operations. Luckily, my kids all stepped up to the plate.
Yeah.
Okay. I got great sons. I got a sister-in-law. I raised a daughter. She got a degree and master's in hotel management. So I got her, And I stole her professor from the college and taught her. I took him away from the school. I saw how good he was. So we do really good with the hotels. We mostly, all my boys pretty much deal with affordable housing. We did a lot of affordable housing when we came here to Florida, all over Tampa. One time we had almost 1,000 units in Tampa off of Fletcher in that whole area there.
Yeah.
They used to call it Suitcase City, but I called it Samsonite Village.
That whole area. I mean, it blew up. I mean, I
sold too quick.
I don't like driving on the highway all the time, especially if I get to a place and I get there early. I drive around to kind of see the neighborhood. I have seen some of the worst neighborhoods in this area blow up with these new condos and these new places. I mean, even Seminole Heights alone, how far that's come in the last 20 years. There is a potential there to turn these crappy neighborhoods into something really, really nice. So now when you're doing this live thing, are you doing it to teach people about real estate?
Yeah, we've done some events in the past. They're real successful. Basically, to be just straightforward. Number one, October is the worst month in Florida in the hotel business.
Right.
Your occupancy goes way down.
Right.
I don't like sitting around with empty rooms. So what do? Hey, we got a big following on YouTube. We hit like almost, we're not hitting 1 million yet. We're up to 875,000 subscribers. I like to help people. I like to teach people. I like to motivate people. Everybody needs to own a piece of real estate. Everybody. Okay? It's somewhere in your life it has a place. How far you take it is up to you. But everybody needs to own some real estate, okay? Because it worked for me, it can work for anybody.
But let me ask you this, and this is the people's number one problem, I think. And I grew up a really poor kid too, and I lived in the projects. And my buddy Pete and I used to rent a place in Feather Sound in Crystal Bay. There, 8 stories right on the water there. But the two of us, we paid $850 a month because we worked a deal with them for rent. Then they came to us at one point and they said, "Hey, bad news, your unit's been sold." And we were like, "Sold? We didn't even know it was." And they said, "Yeah, but we have one upstairs that you could buy for $200,000." And we were like, "Where the hell are we going to get $200,000?" Because we didn't know. Growing up as poor kids, we didn't know how the real estate system worked. We didn't know that we can go get loans. We didn't know we can get in there. We had no idea. And if your family doesn't teach you that, there's really no way for you to do it. So if you have a guy that's had the success that you have, and you're willing to share because look, obviously you're a guy who knows how to make money, but you have this knowledge that you're willing to share with other people. And I think these kids, like my son is 17, and one day he asked me out of the blue, he said, "How does somebody buy a house? Like, how do you buy $1 million house? Do you have to pay the $1 million?" Like, kids are never introduced to that unless they ask about it. And I think it's really important that we teach these kids this stuff because there's a lot of things. I bought some property this year, and I wish to God I would have bought 10 of them 10 years ago, like another property. And you don't realize that sometimes until it's too late.
Yeah, I got to teach them young.
Yeah.
My kid was. My kids are. I start them young, and I. But everybody has to realize. Listen, you're just a number in this world. Okay, your credit score.
Yeah.
Okay, your credit score is the most important thing in your life. All right, and the bank is the most important relationship you're going to have in your life. I mean, yeah, you got your wife and your kids, but the bank comes first, baby, because the bank helps me take care of my family. So you got to understand it's all about making money. And once I made, I was doing good. Listen, the most rewarding feeling I ever get. And it's true. I'm not just BS.
Right.
I'm not saying it. When I can help somebody go from one step to another, okay, and make some improvement in their life and improve the quality of their life and their financial situation, it's the greatest personal feeling you're ever going to get. I've had people come up to me at my events or whatever we're doing, and they tell me, they say, "Listen, until I started listening to you, I was doing this, I was doing that." They tell me all kinds of bad things, and now I listen to you, I did what you told me to do, and now I'm doing this and I'm doing that, my kids and this and that. It's great. It's the greatest thing in the world when you can help somebody else improve their life.
And you can be like, if there's people listening to the show and they're like, I have a job, but like teachers can still do they can still do investment and real estate stuff on the side. They don't have to quit their job. They don't have to do this, and it's a great way, especially long term, for them to have build up that retirement.
Everybody can have some sort of place in their life in real estate. Whether it's the first thing is you got to start off with your house. Now interest rates have gone up. Okay, the market's crazy right now, but it's a market. You got to ride the roller coaster.
Right.
Okay, I've been doing it for 30 years. The problem is now. Before the interest rates went up tremendously as quick as they did, it was a great time for renters to convert to owners.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times the money you're paying for rent will cover your mortgage, your taxes, your insurance. So why are you, and then you get all the benefits from the tax deductions from writing off the interest on your mortgage and all the other benefits you get. So now is a different time. You got to go with the times, but there's always deals out there. And to make money in real estate, you got to find a deal. And listen, there's always deals out there. People are dying every day, unfortunately. People retire and people do this, that. For any reason in the world, there's always a deal out there. But you got to line yourself up to make that deal.
Yeah, they're not going to come to you. You got to look for them.
You got to
too.
look for them,
Yeah.
and you got to line up your money. You got to get your money. You won't go out window shopping. You got to line your money up. You got to have a plan. This is my budget. This is what I could spend. This is my down payment. FHA is only 3.5% down. You only need $3,500 for every $100,000 you borrow. So if you buy something for $200 or $300, you only need about $10,000.
Yeah.
Okay, and then sometimes if you buy income property, the income from the property will help you qualify to buy the property also. So it's not all on you. I don't know why I keep looking at you because you look like somebody needs help. You look like somebody that needs some help, baby.
This guy, hold on, Pablo.
He needs a haircut.
I need a lot of help.
He is sitting
I'm
on
not
a
a
gold
doctor.
mine.
He's
sitting on a
he
gold
looks
mine.
like he could be sitting on a gold mine, but he still looks like he's missing a piece to his puzzle.
100%.
He looks
100%.
like he works in an actual gold
I
mine.
thought he looked like the guy at 7-Eleven I went to the other day.
He owns a house in St. Pete. What year did you buy that house, Joe?
1998.
And what do you remember what you paid, or do you want to talk about it?
136.
I mean, he's looking at the property alone.
Today it's worth $500,000 at least.
But the
More.
property, the more.
$1 million?
Close.
What the heck is sitting here for? We need to talk.
That's right.
I'll talk to you after the show.
The other thing is,
Plus, we're getting you a haircut too. Come on, the long hair went out for a while. Come on.
I'm trying to bring it back.
I'm just kidding. He looks like an old guitar player.
Listen to me. I would grow long hair in a second if I thought I could get it past my
I can't even grow front hair. Forget about any hair.
You mentioned the credit and the credit score and how important that is. And I agree with you, but I also want to tell people that I was, for a majority of my beginning of my radio career, in the 400s. It was terrible, and it wasn't just because I had some debt, but I also didn't pay my stuff on time. And you can change that rather quickly if you just pay attention to it. So people who think, well, I'll never get the credit, you can get the credit. You can fix
discipline yourself.
Yeah.
You got to organize your life. You got to say, this is what I got coming in. This is what I got going out. Now let's put it together where it makes sense and discipline yourself. But your credit score is more important than anything else.
Yeah.
Anything.
Credit
Score and filing your tax returns. And for all you people out there not reporting on your tax returns, you got to, because the banks won't recognize you. Okay? Forget about the mattress. This ain't Staten Island.
This job ran a credit report on me, 17 years ago when they hired me. They need to know who's working for them, what they're doing. And I'm glad they did. They found something on my credit that was wrong, and it was a lien that I was unaware of that I had to have taken care of. But it's very important to pay attention to those things, because that would have hurt me my whole life had I not known about it,
Absolutely.
I think this is great. I think there's a lot of people listening to the show. My nephew's
Run your credit report. You can do it for free online now, I think. And then
Banks
there's
will
all
do
kinds of nonprofits, believe it or not, out there that can help you. They'll show you there's certain letters you can write. You can dispute things. You can negotiate things. You can clean your credit up. It's a process you just have to do, and it's the most important process you need to go through in life.
Yeah, and especially if you're young and you messed it up, there's still plenty of time for you to fix
clean
it.
it up. You can make deals. Things go away. There's all kinds of things you can do, but you got to make the move.
I've never seen a state where you could file bankruptcy and come back from a bankruptcy to turn it into an empire. I've seen so many people do that.
They do it. Plenty of people do it. Bankruptcies are typically 7 years.
This is Ben Mallah. Ben has been in this area, and we've known Ben for some time. Now, let's go over this. This is at the Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn, 700 Northwest Shore. Go to benmallah.com/live. Book your ticket. Book a room if you're not local. Fly in. We got shuttle to the airport, but there's mostly local people. What are you, national?
It's on the internet, so everybody can hear it.
Get there. I don't care how you get there, but you want to get there. You're going to hang out with me. You're going to hang out with my whole gang, my sons. Everybody will be there. We're going to have food. It's going to be information. It's going to be networking. It's going to be everything. And you're going to be my guest in my hotel. So hurry up, book your ticket, because seating is very limited.
Do we get to come and Gio was saying you had a lazy river at your house. Can we come on the lazy river?
Come on down. Come on down.
When you do this, you want to do it. When you want to learn about how to do something, you want to learn from somebody who's real, not some guy that you see from TV. And
I'm not selling courses.
No,
I'm not raising money.
Right.
I don't want anything from anybody. Okay, I just want you to come and improve, whatever we can do in your life so you can make money.
We hear some commercials sometime, and they go, if you ever wanted to learn about real estate and then a voiceover guy goes, Tampa. And you could just tell it's cookie cutter stuff. Ben lives here. His success is proven throughout this whole area. And I think that you're a fun guy to be around and a smart guy. And I think anybody really interested in this can learn from you. And I will tell you, my sister-in-law is the top real estate woman in Trinity. When I first met her, she owned a yoga studio, and then she got into real estate and turned it into the largest. There is potential for people to really excel if they pay attention and they're willing to work for it.
And young people, anybody 18 or anybody at any age, housewives do it all the time.
Yeah.
Get your real estate license. It's one course, principles of real estate, and one test. Okay, my assistant. Okay, he didn't even have a high school diploma either. What did he do? He went and got his high school diploma. He got his GED. Because I told him, you want to make money? You're not going to make money helping me, driving me around. Or you're not going to make that much money. Okay, get your GED. He did it. Get your course knocked out. He did it. Study for the test. Take the test. He did it. Now he got a license to make money. Anybody over the age of 18 can get a real estate license by going to the Florida Department of Real Estate. Get your license. It's not very difficult. It doesn't cost a lot of money. And you can make, there's no limit to what you can make. I pay out millions and millions of dollars a year in commissions to people that sell me deals. Sell me, or if they're selling for me. You make it on both sides. Everybody's a potential client. Everybody is buying or selling in this world, pretty much, So get your real estate license, get in the game, get around people making money. That's your ticket. If you're young, you're not sure what to do. You can do it while you're in college. You can do it while you're working. Real estate's great because it doesn't have to take over your whole life.
Right. You could do other things. If you have some other things that you love, you could still do it. I want to spell this out so people know. It's Ben Mallah, MALLAH.com/live. You can get all the information there. Watch Ben
Look
on
us
YouTube.
up on YouTube.
Yeah, follow the YouTube. It's great. Are you great? You become like a YouTube personality.
I enjoy it. People come to me. I go travel all around all around the world.
Yeah,
I've had people come to me other countries and stuff. It's the most flattering thing in the world for people that want to, that recognize me and want a picture or talk to me. I mean, helping people is such a great feeling. It's beyond. It's different than money. Money is great. I love money. Okay, every day I wake up and think about how am I going to make some money today. But helping other people make money is such a major part of my life that I just love it.
You know why though? You know why? It's the same thing with me. It's because you were poor,
right?
And because you're in such a great place now, you're happy. And instead of having jealous or angry feelings towards other people, you're like, I want to help as many people as I can. I appreciate it. Once you're so grateful for the life that you have, you feel like if I could help other people, that would make my life even better.
But you got to help yourself. You got to want to help yourself.
Of course.
I can only help you if you want to help yourself.
Yeah, none of this stuff ever comes easy. You got to put the work into it. I wish more people understand, especially young kids. Young kids want to see the money right away because they see all their rap stars, all those guys. But they got to realize that they really have to put the work in. But when you do, it comes, man. It really comes.
The more you put in, the more you get out.
Ben, you're inspirational. You really are. I love to see a success story, and I feel like your willingness to help other people is addictive. It makes me want to do more. It makes other people want to do more. And you develop that network of people that'll help each other out. That's a great thing, man.
And for a guy like you that don't have a lot of time, you need to look into some triple net assets.
So why? Tell me. I'm writing this down.
All right. What do you want to buy?
I
got a Home Depot for sale. I got a Lowe's for sale, a Walgreens. These are assets you don't even manage.
I'll
you
take
just
a look.
buy them. They sit back. They pay the rent. You have no responsibilities, and you can just sit back and relax.
Is the greatest?
I just Publix's, Winn-Dixie's, whatever you want, Mike. Come on, make me a deal.
Is the greatest real estate story in the history of real estate McDonald's? The guy who owned the McDonald's,
Ray Kroc.
Ray Kroc bought the property out from underneath all of the McDonald's stores.
I watched the movie.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, and I believe he's still around. There's a guy named Ronald McDonald.
I've met him. He lives here.
I know him very well.
Uh-huh.
I haven't talked to him in years. I feel bad about that. He told me one time we got in a limo. He was taking me to Gainesville to show me a whole bunch of properties. He's in real estate to have a sale. And he told me the whole story of when he was a kid working there for his uncles.
Right.
Ray Kroc was a tough guy.
Mm-hmm.
And they pulled a lot of tricks on them. And they weren't smart enough to deal with the guy. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I get into bed with devils all the time and snakes. But at least I know what they are and I'm ready to deal with them. But he was a smart guy. He was a tough guy. And, he took it into the whole franchise opportunity, which made it blow up. I mean, he did what he did,
But at the same time, retaining that property value, and the ownership made him the guy who was
very
in
rare to
control.
find a McDonald's for sale. You can find them, but they're very rare, and they pay a very low cap rate. Do you understand what a cap rate is?
No.
Basically, if you buy something for $1 million and only has a 4 cap rate on it, which a McDonald's pretty much only has a 4 cap, that means you're going to get only $40,000 a year on that $1 million, 4%. A cap rate is the same as a percent. If you get a 4 cap or a 5 cap, it's just a percent of what you're paying for the property. So if you buy a dollar store down the block here for $1 million at a 7 cap, you're going to get 7% return. You're going to get $70,000 a year deposited in your account every month. $6,000 a month. Okay, that's a cap rate.
That's a great
Just
cap
from
rate.
sitting back and owning.
Now the problem is, listen, I make a lot of mistakes in life. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't see the future. I owe hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. Okay, and I was living really good. I don't want to get into politics, but a few years ago, I was living really good. I was borrowing money at 2.5% to 3% on hundreds of millions of dollars. Now I'm paying double. Right now, I'm losing $5-6 million a year in payments every month. I got to shell out an extra $500,000 a month to the banks because the interest rates went up. Did I fix my rate? No. Was I greedy? Yeah, I guess I didn't play it safe. You got to think. I learned a very valuable lesson. I learned a $5 million a year lesson right now. All right, when things are really good, put in some protection in there and insurance in case things aren't so good. So here I am, but I'm doing some shifting and moving things around. Getting back to the cap rate. I was buying stuff at a 7 cap, right? So fine, I bought a place to get a guy $1 million. I borrow $800 from the bank. I'm only paying the bank 3%. So the $800,000, a bank puts up $800, I put up $200. The $800,000 is now only costing me $24,000 a year because they're only charging me 3%. Did I fix my rate? No, but it was 3%. So I was getting 70 minus the 24 leaves me almost 45 grand, right? I'm getting $45,000 a year on a $200,000 investment. You know what kind of return that is? Like 20%. Okay? That's how you make money in real estate. Now interest rates are high. But what does that mean? It's time, baby, to start stashing your money. You better start thinking about stashing your money. It may be time you sell that house.
He's almost dead. He doesn't stashing anything.
Well, you want a good retirement, It's time to get that money, put it in something safe because the deals are coming. Everybody out there, start saving your money. Get your credit lined up because the deals are coming. Interest rates are high. Real estate has to come down. It's moving slow because we're in a weird market right now. But in 2024, a lot of people aren't going to be able to handle the interest rates. All right, those fixed rates aren't going to last forever. So the deals are coming. Get ready and be prepared. And that's what you're going to find out at my show if you come October the 7th.
October 7th at the Holiday Inn in West Shore. You go to benmallah.com. It's mallah.com/live to get all the information. Ben, I appreciate you coming in today. I think a lot of people out there are driving around now going, how the hell do I get in on this? You're very inspiring when you talk, especially when you know where you started out. So I hope everybody comes and checks you out. And,
I hope so. I appreciate the opportunity coming today.
I might just come sit by
I
the
didn't know
pool
it was
with
an
you.
hour drive from Clearwater.
Well, yeah, I told him. I go, did you tell him we're already in Lutz, man?
I should have rented a room nearby.
I know
Luckily,
a guy who
there's
owns
no
a hotel. Hey, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Hey,
I
let's
appreciate
go back
it.
to Frankie's and have dinner.
Let's go to Frankie's and have the veal parmesan.
I love that
All
place,
right.
man.
Was great.
We'll take a break. When we come back, Dom will join us next. If you want to talk to him, get on the phone line, 727-579-1025 or 800-771-1025. It's the Mike Calta Show. This is 1025 The Bone.
You're listening.
Almost at 6, 9:15 on the Mike Calta Show. It's 1025 The Bone. I'm pretty successful at what I do. Ben makes me want to sell everything and go buy more real estate. Good dude. Good dude and genuine when he says he really just wants to help other people. I put the flyer up for his event in October up on our Facebook page. I'll get it up here on Instagram and the other socials here shortly. Dominic Ferriello is in the studio with us, known to you folks as Ask the Dom. You can find him at AskTheDom.com. And if you want to talk to him right now, 727-579-1025 or 800-771-1025. Dom, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Happy post-Labor Day to you guys.
Happy post-Labor Day to you. What did you do? Anything special?
We just relaxed at the beach. We're over at the condo.
Best thing ever. Best thing ever.
Unwinding a little bit. It was there was nobody there for Labor Day because a lot of folks canceled their trip to Florida because of the hurricane a few days prior that came through.
Losers.
So it was the quietest holiday ever on the beach.
I'm gonna tell you a little secret. I didn't change my clothes from Saturday to Monday.
Oh,
I didn't do anything. I just
proved.
I stayed in the house and I just watched TV and hung out with my kids, and I was like, best day ever.
Do you think we should have asked Dom to come here today instead of the studio?
Oh, because of Carmen's breath.
Ooh,
Dom, can you smell it from where you are?
No, I'm on the other side of the room.
Don't get close. It travels.
I have no idea. Is Carmen? Are they messing with you? Are they? What? Oh, she's answering the phone right now.
I know.
I told her. I said, listen, don't get upset. This is what Italians do. She goes, what do they do? I said, Italians bust balls. That's what they do. So,
Yeah. Well, it sounded like somebody ate balls.
Just like client, like attorney, just so everybody's clear in the relationship you and I have. I too was in the same outfit from Saturday to Monday.
That's just the way to.
It was a bathing suit, and that was about it.
Bathing suit, tank top, and I'm not doing anything else.
It was, so a lot of people, Mike, he doesn't change clothes. Neither does his lawyer. Okay, everybody's happy.
Except though, Dom, except this, and Gio, please chime in and let me know. My son is a handsome kid. He dresses nice. He gets girls and all that stuff. The one thing that I find repulsive about him is how long his toenails and fingernails are. It is it takes an act of Congress to get him to cut his toenails and his fingernails.
Yeah, my son's the same way.
It is disgusting. But do you remember when you were younger and your mother said, wear clean underwear? And you're like, I am. And you're like, you're not. And if you're not, because what happens if there was an emergency and they had to take your clothes off and look in your underwear? And I went, oh my God, can you imagine they saw skid marks?
Oh.
And I made sure I had clean underwear on every day. My son, good for you dirtbag. He hurt his toe and I had to take him to urgent care. And I said, good, look at the rest of your gross feet and toes. Now somebody else has to see it. And now I hope you feel gross. I don't think he did. I don't think he was affected. I think they just looked at me like I was a bad parent. But
why don't you take him to the spa?
Well, you know what, though? He needs more. He needs to stop being coddled. He needs to, I need to have the lawn people do it, not the spa people.
Let me tell you, when I go, usually every other week, I like to look nice. I got to be presentable in court. So Booze will come with me. And the girls, they go crazy for him. They're on there doing the feet and he's doing the hands. But he's got because he catches, so sometimes he has to put tape around his hands and different things for the signals, or they'll paint or different stuff. So he's got to get things done because of the baseball related activities.
Well, listen, at least your kid's in good shape with his nails, as opposed to my gross kid.
That's your godson now, by the way. Are you talking about your godson?
He's got nice fingernails.
Okay.
Let's go to Scott. Scott, good morning. I want to ask the Dom, what do you got, Scott?
Good morning, everybody. A workers' comp question, and I realize it's not what Dom specializes in, but maybe just a little Q&A. Rotator cuff labrum repair surgery, finally released by the surgeon, although he did increase my MMI. I don't know exactly what that is. But I'm just surprised that the agency said, look, $10,000 before surgery, and you're on your own. After surgery, I got a shoulder that looks like it was cleat stomped. I'm going to have issues forever. And they're saying $15,000 as a final offer. I don't get it.
Yeah, so MMI, maximum medical improvement, is they're saying, hey, you're finalized. There's nothing further that they can do. The surgeries is done what it's done. You're going to be into some rehab. Some folks take a little longer rehab than others. So that's what the MMI stands for, which is, kind of a medical term that, hey, you're having to move you on to the next phase, if you will. Do you not have a workers' comp attorney at the moment?
I've not gone there yet.
Okay.
It's 2 years past surgery this November. After a recheck of a MRI with some dye injection to look at some stuff, my surgeon released me with a whole bunch of maybes. You can have surgery again, but, the best you're going to get at a 59-year-old, blah, 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 is the best you're going to get. So I'm not going surgery again. Does it have to go the route of a lawyer where you share the cut, or is there something simple, stupid? Did you just file and let a magistrate or a mediator decide?
Well, with this scenario here, I wouldn't go without a lawyer because you're not going to know what the hell to do, and your cut's going to be so damn small without a lawyer. It's worth it. When was the last time that you did something medically? You said 2 years since the surgery. Have you had intervening appointments since then?
Well, no. I mean, the injury was summer of 2020. finally got surgery a year and a month after the injury, which again would have been 2 years since. So aside from an MRI recheck 3 months ago, there's been no cause short of the
all right.
rehab that came post-surgery.
Well, we should be all right with the MRI recheck 3 months ago, because if you go a year or without any type of follow-up or treatment, you're going to run into a problem of whether or not you're even eligible. So the fact
the MRI came.
Good.
No, you go. Please go.
No, it was 3 months ago. I think you're going to be fine. So what you do is you email me after our conversation this morning, Richard Osborne, Ozzy. He's fantastic. He's been on my show. He does workers' compensation, which is a hyper-technical aspect of personal injury. So he is who I recommend that you talk to at this point. Now, remember, Richard's like me. You'll talk to him. He's not going to charge you a consultation fee. You explain to him, what's going on. Maybe you send in some records. He's going to make recommendations. If you like his recommendations, you're going to hire him. And if you don't, then he's going to give you what Mike says, the Dominus Vobiscus, and wish you, good luck.
Nope. Heard. All right, gentlemen. Thanks.
AskTheDom.com. Just email me. I'll give you Richard's information. Richard Osborne's the attorney. He's fantastic.
Copy that.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
There he is.
That guy had a great voice. I went to the McDonald's on Gulf to Bay this weekend to get my daughter something, and the guy was like, "Welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order?" And I took the order. I gave him the order, rather. And I pulled around the window. He's a goofy white kid. And I go, "How old are you?" And the kid's like, "I just turned 18." And I go, "You have a great voice." I go, "I do radio. You should be looking into it." He was like, "Oh, thank you." I don't know. People then
get
go
in the car with you.
Nah, but
a new intern. Is this a new intern, Mike?
If they have a great radio voice and you tell them, and then they go, "Well, what should I go?" "Well, I don't know what to do. I'm just telling you, I have a great radio voice." I don't know. Let's go to. Sorry, I got to move this thing around slowly. This is Robert. Robert, good morning. You're on with Ask Dom. What do you got, Robert?
Good morning, Dominic. Good morning, gentlemen. Dominic, I'm just wondering, how long does it take in order to settle on a disability case?
Well, what type of disability case is it?
Well, I'm considered legally blind in my right eye. I've gone through the process. The judge has made the final decision about 3 or 4 months ago, and I try to contact my attorney, and the assistant gives me the runaround. Right now, she's telling me, well, everything has been sent to the underwriter, and that was 5 weeks ago.
So you're trying to qualify for SSDI, in essence?
Yes.
For the federal government. Well, what's odd about that process is a lot of folks that are deserving of it out of the gate. And when I say that is you think the first hearing or the second hearing, they would qualify because of whatever the disability might be that you're requesting for governmental assistance. But it's a lot of folks that go 3, 4, 5, 6 times these damn hearings, and it doesn't make any sense to me. I've had clients where I would refer the disability law to. I don't do that specifically, but I've had personal clients that have then been disabled, after I resolve the accident or the claim or what have you, and then they have to go through this and to me, it's like a no-brainer. I was like, what the hell is taking so damn long? So this is one of the things that I wrote down on my list of things that I want to change if I'm ever allowed to run for office, and I say that because my wife will not allow me to put my name on the ballot. But if I do, this is one of the things I would probably go in and clean up because it sucks. The true answer really is going to be with your lawyer, interacting with the process, the court, because they're the only folks that know your specific medical issues without throwing HIPAA around here. I mean, you're talking to a lot of folks on the show. Like, we don't want to get into that. But the system itself, sir, is a pain in the ass. I'll say it that way. I mean, this is street law terms, okay? This is how we talk on the street. So I don't want you to feel alienated. The reason I'm telling you this is they're not singling you out. This is the same feeling for a lot of people. And again, ironically enough, it's 2 calls in a row. Is Richard Osborne also does my disability. Now, if you've got a lawyer, that's fine. Stay with him or her. But if you're not happy or if something goes sideways, just 2 calls in a row. It happens to be Richard Osborne, Ozzy. He handles disability, longshore acts, obviously workers' comp from the caller before. All that area is what he does for the Acid Dom Network.
So one quick question. So I was told by the assistant that all the paperwork has been sent to the underwriter. what does the underwriter do? What's their job? Do they make the final note? Do they notify me? Yes, no.
Yeah, they're making a determination on the inherent value, if you will, of what the disability claim is going to be, and then there has to be a ruling on that. So if you're blind, I think you said in one eye, right? But which is if you still have vision in the other eye, well, you're not permanently disabled. God forbid, you're not blind in both eyes. That would have a different economic value for a disability claim paid by the United States government. So they have to make an assessment of that. I mean, I've had several folks that have had disabilities because of back injuries or injuries to their hands or to their feet. Those have different economic problems. If someone can't stand, if someone can't walk, if someone can't see, there's a variety of different types of injuries that the underwriters have to assess in order to determine the rate of disability that's going to be awarded to you monthly. There you go.
All right, boy.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
I got to get the other calls here.
There we go. Sorry, Mike. I tend to get long.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm trying to get as many people in as possible. Good morning, you're on with Acid Dom. Who's this?
Hello, Dom?
Yes. What do you got for Dom?
I have a question. I'm going to see the Attorney General tomorrow for child support. Is there something I'm supposed to say or anything? I had custody of my son, and I've been paying child support for a couple of years now. So we're going to get this reversed. Is there something I'm supposed to say or tell them?
All right, so you
about
have a hearing. You have a hearing tomorrow on child support, and you're going to go see who?
We're going to go talk to the Attorney General for court.
Well, I think the Attorney General for the state of Florida is Ashley Moody. I don't think you're going to go see Ashley Moody tomorrow for
No.
a family law.
I'm not in Florida. I'm in Texas.
I have no idea what the hell's going on in Texas. I'm a Florida-based lawyer, so if you're seeing an Attorney General in Texas on a family law matter, that's probably why I'm not licensed there.
I do know all my exes live in Texas.
Yeah. So, no, you need to talk to a family law. No, but that's okay. Some folks call and ask questions. I'm only licensed in the state of Florida. You're going to have to talk to a family law attorney in Texas about whatever it is you're doing tomorrow. And I wish you the best of luck.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry we couldn't help you. Good morning. You're on with Acid Dom. Who's this?
Me?
Yes. Hi.
Ellen.
Hi, Ellen. You're on with Acid Dom. What do you got?
I have a question. My husband and I are currently selling our home, and when we initially bought it, because our credit was terrible, we bought it through the people we were renting from. Went to a title company, signed everything over, the deeds in our name, blah, blah, blah. We have been depositing our taxes and our insurance along with our mortgage payment into their account every month. From day one, they never put it in a separate account for us. Now that we're selling the house, and he hasn't been the best person as far as money goes, he's difficult. I'm concerned that he will not give us that money back, and we're closing this month. Can I legally have the title company deduct that from the payment when they pay off our house? Or do I have to wait for him to be difficult and send us a check, and by the time we're going to be moving out of state?
All right, so when you're saying him, this was the individual that owned the house that you're renting, and then you decide to buy the house from the owner.
Correct.
How much money are we talking about that you've been paying these folks through this process?
Our monthly mortgage is $945. But as of this year, since last year, I've paid almost, I think it was $3,200 in taxes and insurance. And like I said, we're closing the end of this month, so I'm concerned it's going to be a fight getting that back.
All right, well, if you play $945 times 12 months, it's going to be about $11,340 maybe.
Get it right, man.
That's, I think $11,340. So with that being said, how many years has this been going on?
We've been depositing the money in their account since we bought the house in 2020.
Okay.
And I also get a copy on the receipt, and I write how much is for taxes and how much is for insurance on every check I put into their account.
All right, so it's law time for you. What you're going to need is a real estate law attorney to make sure that that money is accounted for, especially taxes, And when they do the titles, the title company is going to have to do the search to make sure that everything's free and clear from title, including back taxes. And if not, that needs to be known now, because you need to have the time for folks to communicate letters, emails, and phone calls prior to the closing. It sounds like you guys are on a tight window because you said you're leaving the state. So you want to make – okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to hire my attorney, Christina Lund. She does real estate law. She's an attorney that does real estate law, and she's also a realtor. So she does both sides. So she's fantastic because she can tackle it on both ends. Email me at acidom.com. You've got a short window here. You got to hire Christina, get her in there, make sure it's all cleaned up and looks nice, and you're going to get the credit for what you good folks have been paying, including the taxes. Because if not, I don't know if that's going to come later or reversed, if they're going to pay in the back end, and how long the hell that's going to be. And you want to make sure that that is all signed and agreed to before you execute the closing.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome.
I will email you today.
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck. Dom, thank you. What do we got coming up on the show tomorrow?
Well, because of the hurricane, I'm just going to be me tomorrow night. I might have one or two of the other sponsors that sneaks in with me. Our Attorney General, had to reschedule last week because of the storm, and Ashley Moody will be coming in either the 20th or 27th.
Is she coming in the studio?
That's a great question, because now that this thing's been rescheduled, she's from Plant City, so this is her area, Hillsborough County, I should say. So sometimes she's in town, and if she's in town during the midweek, then we might get her to sneak in the studio. The last time she was in studio, she came in on the show. She came in the studio. If not, then she might be calling in. It just depends on her schedule and calendar now that we're going to pivot to the end of this month. But
maybe she caught wind of the situation.
Well, the storm is what it is. It changed everything. So with that being said, there's another milestone this month. I was talking with Carmen about it. Do you guys know what this month marks? There's 2 anniversaries this month, Mike.
In September?
3 anniversaries.
Oh.
I don't
know nothing. I don't even know when these guys' birthday is. So
all right, so three anniversaries is going to be the 11th season 11 of the Acid Dom Show.
Wow, that did go fast.
So 11 years of my own show, number 1. Number 2 is going to be 21 years that I've been practicing law as an attorney. This is when I was licensed. I was licensed in the end of September. So that's the 2nd anniversary. And the 3rd anniversary is I've been married to Pumpkins on the 13th of this month, which is next Wednesday, for 15 years.
Wow.
How did you not know those 3, Mike?
Well, I think I knew 2. I knew 2 of them.
Yeah, so it hurts my feelings.
Well, I'm sorry. I will make a note for sure. 3 fantastic anniversaries.
So lots going on. It's a busy month.
Good. Yeah. Well, thank you for taking care of our listeners today. They could check you out tomorrow night right here on this very radio station. You could always go to astadom.com or call the office 813-251-5550. If you didn't get through today, go to the website, send him an email. He gets back to you, and he'll help you out. If he can't do it, he'll turn it over to somebody else in his network who can, and he continues to help people out in our market on this station for the past 17 years with us and now 11 years with his own show. Dom, thank you for getting up early and coming in, and we will see you again next week.
Absolutely, Mike. You guys take care. Have a great week. We'll see you next Tuesday.
All right,
see
buddy.
You,
thank you.
Bye, guys.
We must take a break. I want to tell you about my friends at Super Heat and Air. If you need a new AC for your home, and for some reason you're concerned with the price, don't worry. You can get a new AC installed today, and you won't have to pay anything. No payments and no interest for 18 months. I don't know who else can offer that for you, but if your air isn't kicking as high as it should, and it's not as cold as it should be, and you're miserable every day, get a new unit put in and have Super Heat and Air do it. Maybe you don't even need a new unit. When's the last time you had a maintenance tune-up done? You can have that done. They can come out and assess the situation on your unit. I had that done. I was worried it wasn't cold, and I thought maybe they said you might need a new motor because of this, that, and the other thing. And then they came in, they gave it a little tune-up, and they were like, is it cold? I go, yeah. And they go, then you're good. That's it. No trying to sell you stuff you don't need, people you can trust. That's the most important thing. There's a million AC companies. You got to find the right one that you can trust. Super Heat and Air has been a loyal sponsor of this show for years, and I have bought several air conditioning units for them for different places. And I always send my family there and, of course, my listeners. Go to superheatandair.com and look into it. And of course, they're there for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week if you have an emergency. Superheatandair.com. Tell them you heard about it on the Mike Calta Show. We must take a break. This is 102.5 The Bone.
You're listening.
TampaBay.com on the corner of 275 and Fletcher.
Download the free Bone app to listen to us anywhere. Sponsored by Mark Spain Real Estate. Get your guaranteed offer at markspain.com. We now return to the Mike Calta Show. The Mike Calta Show on 102.5.